I'm telling you, since LeBron and MJ, who have we seen better than Luka at his
Giannis.
age?
Giannis.
At his age, at the same age.
Giannis is what, like 2 years older than Luka?
He's like...
He's quite a bit more older than Luka.
Giannis is like 27.
Luka's only 23.
Chill. Jokic has won 2 back-to-back MVPs, right? So Giannis might have been the same age as Luka now when he won his first MVP.
No, couldn't be.
Yeah, because when did Giannis win his MVP?
Giannis won his MVP in his like 4th, 5th season.
Luka's a year older than Zion, yeah?
Yes.
So Giannis is 27. Luka's must be 22, 23 now.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Giannis won his MVP at 20.
He won 2, remember?
Oh yeah, he went back to...
Luka's 23. So 4 years ago,
Yeah.
Giannis would have been in the season where he won his first MVP.
So this is Luka's first MVP.
No, but I'm saying, you said, have you ever seen someone this good at that age? I've seen Giannis.
Giannis was...
Don't do this.
No offense to Giannis.
Don't do...
No offense to Giannis.
Rod, stop the pod.
And Jason Tatum.
Rod, stop that. Stop that now.
I think Giannis...
I'm not gonna waste time on that. Start the pod, please.
I'm sorry.
We can get into it. We can get into it. It's fine.
He hit his peak 2 seasons, bro. I think one of those MVPs is a bit fishy, but I'll leave it there.
Who?
I'll leave it there.
Stop the pod, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, baby moms and baby dads, welcome to another episode of Take It to the Rim podcast with myself, Rods, aka Steve Nash is gone, aka all glory to God. Yeah. And I'm here with Clipper Cam.
What's good?
And today, all the way from Houston,
Come on.
we got man like Aaron.
Old shooters in the house, unfortunately. I wish we could shoot.
Oh, goodness. So,
Sorry, my bad.
continuing
Yes.
on what was being said before, the intro, because you guys were about to start a Mazzoline. So,
What did I say? Was I talking about Giannis?
Alright, cool. So I said that we're gonna do some MVP talks. I was saying that for me, Giannis is leading the MVP race. I don't necessarily see how he couldn't be. His team are
undefeated
7-0, right?
6-0, 7-0.
7-0 now, I think. Without Chris Middleton, it's just him and Drew. I'm not saying just because there's other guys contributing. Him and Drew Holiday right now. So in my head, with him averaging the crazy numbers that he's averaging as well, let me get those numbers up for you. I don't see how you could look at anyone else and say
32, 14 and something.
Insane numbers, bro.
No, I'm not.
Insane numbers.
I think Giannis,
on an undefeated team as well.
I think Giannis right now is the best player on the planet. Right now, there's no one better than putting the ball in the hoop.
That's not what you're saying.
Luka's MVP though.
You said,
And Luka's Luka's the GOAT.
The GOAT of what?
Of basketball. He's gonna be he's the GOAT. You say it now. When he's 30, 32, we're gonna be saying this is the greatest player we've ever seen in our lives.
When he gets there, we can say that, innit? But don't do that now, bro.
Early.
Don't do that now.
Early,
we're not gonna start early. No, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
Especially for a guy who hasn't won an MVP or a championship.
Look at what he's working with. What's he gonna win an MVP?
Listen.
He'll get MVP this year.
He scared talent away. That is no one else's fault but his own and Mark Cuban's.
Who did he scare away?
Jalen Brunson. The only other good player he ever played with, or like actually good player that he ever played with, said, I'm gonna go take a pay cut and go to New York.
Do you think he scared him away? You think that's because of Luka?
He openly said that the reason he left was because he wanted more touches and more control over the ball. 100%. Luka can. Why do you think they have Christian Wood coming off the bench?
Christian Wood would have. I said that was a bad trade when it happened. As a Houston Rockets fan, that was a terrible trade.
But he's playing well though. That's what I'm trying. But why do you think Christian Wood is coming off the bench on a team with Luka Doncic when the guy who starts ahead of him is definitely worse than him?
Because he's probably better on defense, most likely.
Because he cannot coexist on the court at the same time, have the same effect. When good players on the court with Luka, they're not doing anything because the guy's so ball dominant. He's like Steve Nash back in Phoenix, dribbling the ball for a whole possession and then taking a shot.
He's more like James Harden in Houston.
Even better. I've said that before as well. Go on.
James was able to play with other stars and make.
James never won. Just want to say that. Sorry, but go on.
He never won because of a hamstring. That wasn't his. That was Chris Paul's hamstring gave out. That's the only reason why James doesn't have a ring. Otherwise, he'd have a ring. You know, he should also have 2 MVPs. But that's again, we'll get into that another day.
Yeah.
But in terms of, I get it, what you're saying about Luka, but at the same time, I'm sorry, no offense to Christian Wood. If I'm Luka Doncic, yeah, I'm not really trying to give you the ball that much. Like, yeah, you're playing all right now, but let's be real. Christian Wood's not that good. He's not good enough to. He actually isn't good enough to start. He really isn't.
Oh, that's outrageous.
I'm being real.
That is
I
outrageous.
don't agree. I think he is good enough to start, and I think he would be perfect to run the pick and roll with Luka because he can also he can pick and pop, he can pick and roll. But however, as that pick and roll is being called, there's no point in Wood rolling because there's nothing to roll to.
Luka passes on the pick and roll. That's how he gets. It's so basically how he gets most of the with them weird like hockey.
See, you're saying that Christian Wood is not good enough to start, right? Christian Wood this year is averaging 17.3 points on 58.9% shooting, 47.8% from the three, averaging 8.4 rebounds. That's not good enough to start.
No. Not on the championship team. It sounds weird that I'm saying no.
Is Dallas a championship team? I don't understand. They're not.
They're not, but they should be. That if you have a player like Luka, every year you're trying to get a chip. That's it. Simple.
I feel like what you're saying is wild, purely because Maxi Kleber is a starter in that team. There's nothing you can tell me that Maxi Kleber is better at doing than Christian Wood.
Is he good enough to start over Maxi Kleber? 100%. Should be starting over Maxi Kleber? Yeah, I'll give you that. Fair enough. I'll take that back. He should be starting over Maxi Kleber. But if I'm trying to go deep in the playoffs where Christian Wood is going to be needed and why you have Christian Wood, he's going to be a liability.
I'm a Clippers fan. Christian Wood will start on the Clippers. Christian Wood will also start on the Lakers.
That's just because Zubats is getting cooked by everybody that's coming against him.
I'm maybe that might be the point, but I'm saying I think you're going to realise he's much better than the average NBA center. Much better than the average NBA center as well. I'm not saying he's top 10, but he very well could be top 20.
Offensively. He's much better offensively. He's not much better defensively. Again, I've watched him for most of the season in Houston. He's really not that good on defense.
He's not a shot blocker or rim protector at all.
But that is what Dallas needed more than they needed a big man that could score. You had a big man that could score. KP, you sent him away because he couldn't coexist with Luka. So bringing another big man that can score to not
coexist or did
exist?
Porzingis then decide, okay, you know what? Because obviously there was apparently a lot of ruffles and the feathers there, and like you say, we all know how Luka is. When you're going to get really and truly, and this is a pure fact and it's been seen, obviously there's times where Luka does pass the ball and such. I'm not saying he doesn't pass the ball, but majority of the times when you're on this team, when you do get the ball, it's either going to be off a double pick and roll when it does happen, or you get the ball and there's 5 seconds left on the shot clock, you got to make something happen. Yeah. And that's a majority of the times for Porzingis as well. 5 to 7 seconds left on the shot clock.
Luka throws grenades. That's what I call it in 2K.
Make something happen.
When you're playing rec and the shot clock's going and your point guard just dribbling out the ball, just so you don't get the turnover, you pass it out, that's a grenade.
And on top of that, with how things even going, Porzingis was not averaging to 20 and 10?
Still averaging 20 and 10.
And blocks, he was still obviously good
KP
numbers.
Nice. He's nice right now in Washington. I've never not thought KP was nice, honestly.
Yeah.
When I say he couldn't coexist, what you said, everything you just said is there. I just made it sound like Luka's a nicer person by saying that he can't coexist. That's realistically what. Like, again, Luka's not the type of player right now at this point in his career that's gonna work with another star caliber, someone who wants to be a star. He needs somebody that understands, I'm here to take those bad passes but make them go in.
So then Dallas will never be good.
Doesn't mean they'll never be good.
That's exactly what
because it's just the thing is, it's just going to be Luka and role players, and
that's never going to get done.
It's always a 2-man thing at
least.
least.
Thank you.
At least every single championship in the history of the NBA, at least a 2-man thing with role players.
I agree with you, but that's what I'm saying. Right now, that's not going to keep happening. You think after the next season he's going to keep on doing this? No.
So you think Luka needs to change his style of play?
There's some, yeah, of course.
Do you think he ever will?
Yes, of course. It's the same with Ja Morant. I love Ja Morant. I think he's so good. But there's a lot of things he still needs to work on his game to be the point guard that he needs to be that MVP caliber. Jason Tatum's done the work to get to the point where now you're there. You're up there with these guys now. Like, these guys got work to do still. Just because I'm saying Luka's the GOAT and stuff like that, I'm saying, I said this before, you can compare the way he plays to LeBron James or Magic or whatever, all those guys. But his mentality is Michael Jordan. That's why he's not passing the ball. He don't want to be those guys. He thinks and plays like he's Michael. He thinks he's
Sometimes I'm thinking, because even Michael passed the ball to Steve Kerr, and
After how many years?
and the thing is, with Michael, who was right there by his side that he needed.
He had another Hall of Fame player, another top 50 NBA player.
And then he
But
needed
we
obviously
forget-
like special players in their role. So the thing is, how it works is like but the thing is, I get the Michael Jordan mentality, and because of how Michael Jordan played, who more was just scoring, guard, and defending, and Scotty was more playmaker. So it's like Luka's got. I think the issue is that he's got, obviously not even an issue, but yes, he's got the Michael Jordan mentality and the scoring part of it, but he also has and takes responsibility of the Scottish side, where it's the playmaking, the handling as well. So now it's a constant battle where it's okay, he's got to score, he's got to do it, he's got not just get his numbers, but he's got to make sure that he's doing things so that there's hope. So but pairing people with Luka is difficult. It's not super difficult, but it's not easy, just because anyone who could actually play alongside him, that deal's most likely not happening. Like I say, one player who can play alongside, who I think can play alongside anyone and be calm with being 1B, is Paul George. I think he's one of the most easiest complementary players to play, because you don't have to give him the ball all the time. Like he can just But the thing is, he can go and be number. Like he can.
He needs to start thinking he's 1A. He's peeing me off with that. Sorry.
I think he's obviously that's a whole nother conversation. But I know he's kind of rise, because from Thunder, then he started to be 1A, and then Clippers now he's like taking a backseat.
He
But
jumps between the
it's
two.
weird. He jumps between the two.
Kawhi's not there.
He doesn't know he doesn't know his role in the team, because when Kawhi's there, he's clearly the second option, and when Kawhi's not there, which is most of the time, he's the number one option. So in his brain, he gets he just needs to go, I'm number one, because if Kawhi's not here most of the time, then I am number one. Simple.
Let's get back to the
original.
Just to close that out anyway. I feel like you said enough points to suggest that Giannis is the MVP.
Just book.
Wait, sure. Milwaukee are 7-0. Dallas are 4-3. Yeah.
Season ain't done.
Huh?
Season ain't done. We got a lot of time.
Of course it's not. There's loads of seasons to play. I just feel like everything I've seen so far anyway lets me know where Giannis's mind is at right now.
Oh,
I think Luka's only accomplishment he can achieve this year is MVP.
yeah.
Giannis. That's not Giannis's only accomplishment.
The
this year.
Bucks are going to the finals. I said that last year. They go to the finals. I predict the Golden State Warriors Bucks finals.
I think they could be in the Eastern Conference. They'll definitely be in the Eastern Conference finals. I don't know about all the way to the finals.
Because Chris Middleton's coming back.
He is, but we don't know what we're gonna see from him.
Oh, he'll be fine.
As long as he can make jump shots, he's fine.
Fine. Chris Middleton's gonna be fine.
Just remember, like ACL injuries, MCL injuries are serious though. Like they do take a massive.
And not
toll.
everyone's KD to come back and actually.
Bro, 100%. And look at how long KD had to take off to come back to be KD. You know, it's and remember, Middleton got injured this year, just earlier this year in the playoffs. So he's not actually been out for that long. So I feel like it's going to take a little bit of time.
Yeah.
But even that said, the way Giannis and the Bucks are playing right now, it kind of doesn't matter. I won't lie to you.
It doesn't matter to the playoffs, because we saw what happened in the playoffs last year. They need Chris.
Oh yeah. They do, especially if they have to play against a Boston, even Cleveland right now, 100%.
This is who they're going to be going up against.
Definitely.
I don't know. For what I saw last year, taking Boston in 7 games it was a terrible game 7 for Milwaukee.
Yeah.
But the fact that he still went those 7 games without Chris,
Very impressive. Very impressive.
I just looked at them and was like, you guys are going to the finals next year no matter what. I know what you have. You're going to the finals.
Because of Giannis, right?
Yeah, it's the main reason. He's the main reason why they're going to the
This
finals.
is why I look at him and say, this guy's an MVP. When you're telling me that Luka's the GOAT, and I'm not wholeheartedly disagreeing with you about that. I'm not agreeing at all, because I still think LeBron's the GOAT.
Yeah.
But, you know, future-wise, Luka has all the tools to be that kind of guy, that person in the league for the next 10 plus years. However, right now, Giannis is still the greatest player in the league today. He's still the best player in the league today. And he's nowhere near done, bro. He's nowhere near done. So I can't give those accolades out to anyone else yet. And I do have to 100% say that Giannis is MVP, for me anyway.
And it's mad because the age that Giannis is, technically he's actually 1 year away or 2 years away from actually hitting his prime.
Yeah. I think I saw something recently that said your prime is actually, even as an athlete, it's actually when you're 30. It's not this whole...
It's like
NBA players
28,
28,
29, yeah. And it's like, that's kind of crazy, because look how much more time he has to develop. Like,
For him, we know what is left in his game that needs to get better.
Just to shoot.
And
And
it's-
he doesn't have to develop that. Let's just
he
be honest.
doesn't have to,
but he will.
He will
I
because
think
he's
so,
doing
because
it.
he works.
He'll-
He works.
and
He works
he'll,
enough.
he'll be more. And the thing is, that's just gonna. That's just like, even if it's to a decent point, because even now, he will take shots. He will take a shot.
Yeah.
Making obviously is.
But you got to take the shot.
You have to respect it. You have to respect the fact that he's shooting threes. It's not like how it used to be before, where guys would say, "No problem, shoot the three now." You know,
And they put their hands in his face.
they have to contest it even to some point, to some extent, slightly.
Shout out
So
Ben Simmons, man.
that's
Someone
it. That's
put
him
in work.
improving. What you say?
I said shout out Ben Simmons. Somebody put in work. Simple. I mean, one man was like, "Oh, what? Number 1, number 2 pick? No work." What pick was Giannis? I don't even remember.
Giannis was 13
There we go.
in 2013, I think.
What's mad is the game that Ben Simmons didn't play was like in Chicago.
Yeah.
Bruv, I've never seen him smile so much on the bench. I was so pissed. I was thinking, what's that? Like,
Because
he
he's
was-
finally in his comfortable position, you know.
You don't want to.
He's not playing small forward, point guard, power
It's so-
forward,
it's-
center.
it's so
He's
sad,
playing bench.
man.
That's his favorite position.
You don't want to play ball.
It's so sad because the guy can actually be quite good, and
Yeah.
he's just. It has to be. I don't know if he needs therapy. More like it has. This is all psychological now because it's gone past the point of physical, and that it is all psychological, mental. That's what it is now. There's a block there, man.
I feel like at this point with Ben, and I think it's a good conversation topic because we're going to talk about the Nets next anyway. I think with Ben, I don't know as to whether it's him not having confidence. I think a lot of it is actually him not having confidence.
Yeah.
But I don't know where this came from. Because, one, I think he's definitely still hurt. I don't think that's a question because
I think he is.
I remember
still-
people on Twitter were saying, "Oh, bring this Ben back," and it was only him like 2 years ago. They're talking about like it was 10 years ago. He's him running at full speed, dunking, being aggressive, and you watch like the first few games he played for you, man, and he was looking like
He went- and the
like
thing
his
is,
final years of his career.
It seemed like he wanted to run and go full speed, but there was a tweet
Yeah,
where it's
so
like,
he can't.
I can't go that hard just in case. So I think there is still something lingering there. I mean, he did have back surgery
But I
not too
think
long
that
ago.
still comes down to the mental side. I think even the injuries that he's occurring, whatever, getting at the moment. I can't say the word properly right now. I think it comes down to part of the mental. I think some injuries you manifest in your body because mentally you're so afraid to play, or so afraid to be in. Like he's clearly afraid of getting fouled. That's clearly the main thing that is on his mind. He does not want to get fouled. Hence why he's not scoring because he's trying to not get fouled. He doesn't want to take free throws. That fear of all that pressure, it's getting to his body. He's probably waking up. He's going to go, my back, Now I got to have surgery on my back.
Yeah.
He's come back again. Back's fine. Surgery's fine. Looking good. Knee's gone. Out of nowhere. He's not, and you said he's not doing high intensity sprints on the court at the moment because
I don't think he can. Yeah.
he might not be able to. And when he's coming out of games, he's smiling. He's sitting on the bench.
Finally,
he's
I get a
smiling.
break. Yeah, man.
Like it's very sad to see because of the amount of talent he has. Because he's still a talented player. It doesn't just go like that.
Yeah.
You don't just lose your skill and your ability. He is still capable of being one of the best defensive players in the league, one of the best playmakers in the league. He's still capable of reaching the heights that everyone thinks he can
We
reach.
just haven't seen it for a while, man.
Not for a very long time.
Yeah, he just needs to. This, and I've been saying this as well. Yeah, he just needs to do just one game where he just like, bun it, man. Like, is what is. You know, if I miss my shot, like I don't even care. He just needs to. That confidence obviously needs to be installed, and it's just one of the ones where he needs to have that game where, you know what, go up, be aggressive, get fouled, cool. If you miss first 2 free throws, oh well, go again. Like, just do it and get it out of the way, because I feel like there's also an anticipation, like, oh, if I do it and I miss, then people can talk again. It's going to remind me of Philly, PTSD, and then back to square one, where it's like, no one on the Nets cares. Everyone's defending you. Everyone's saying, give him a chance. Like, he's been out for 2. Everyone's defending you, and everyone's saying, just we don't, bro. Like,
But you hinder the team when you don't take those shots. And we're not talking about taking threes or even mids. When you're in the paint, they just need you to take the shot. That's it.
Honestly.
You're hindering the team by not doing that.
And I wonder how those practices are going because I think it was not last week, maybe the first week of the season when Kyrie was like, we're all being patient with Ben and we're getting frustrated sometimes. Like, that frustrated comment's interesting because the fact that you're vocalizing it, saying like, there's something you guys are seeing that when he's coming to the court, it's making you angry how he's playing on the court. So you guys are seeing something in practice completely different. You're clearly seeing the good, healthy, fit, great playing Ben Simmons.
Where there's no consequences, no repercussions.
Or just some potential of what he can be when he's 100%. Maybe that's what it is.
I mean, it is at least, obviously, I know they've maybe had I feel like they've had like a tiptoey conversation around it. And obviously they've been transparent about it. So it's like, look, we're not hiding nothing from you. This is what it is, but we're still backing you anyway. Like, yeah, it's frustrating, but and that can happen. That can be fine. Like, yeah, it's frustrating, but that's still my teammate, still my guy. So, like, he will get there, man. And it's just to confidence that even though we can see these things, we don't care because we know what you are and what you're capable of to go and do it. So go and do the blood clot thing, bro. Stop holding back. Like, it makes a sense. So, and that, I just feel like the frustrations. It's very tough because how long till, like, I know Kyrie will say stuff and obviously said things already, but if KD said, then you know you're in trouble because KD don't really say. He just says, do you, be you, just play a role, do what you gotta do.
KD says, I'm just trying to hit, I'm just trying to hoop.
Yeah, that's trying to hoop. If you take KD out of that, I'm trying to hoop to come on, but like as soon as just that one, you're bro, you have to go and dunk the ball next possession, otherwise you're finished. You have to.
Realistically, because if KD, just being honest, KD is the franchise player. If KD's after a while, it's like, we can't have this guy here. You're gone. And if you leave the Nets for Ben Simmons, where do you go that you bring value to and you can show everybody that you are Ben Simmons?
That I'd say the place that the Nets was the only place in my head that he would thrive and succeed because of the offensive talent of the two other players on his team, innit?
But it's weird though because it's like KD and Kyrie are playing good basketball. Obviously, beside bar that Chicago game where Kyrie sucked, but like, you know, everyone gets 1, 2, 3 or 4. But
playing great basketball, good basketball. They're playing amazing.
That's what I'm saying. It's just
the man in the bags.
Poetry in motion. Like they are doing it, but it's just. The rest of the team is like, I don't know what is going on because they are really performing. Everyone see they are performing. I'm like, okay, great. Then I see the rest and it's like, this is what I was saying about Claxton up and down. Not saying that. I'm not saying that he's look. I'm not sold fully on him yet. Okay. And I don't think he obviously should be a starting center.
You should be a starting center.
Not him.
Yeah, but it's not Darren Sharp. So who is it?
You don't have a choice,
bro.
He's the best center you have on your team.
I don't even think he's that bad. He's all right. He's not playing that great, but he's all right.
I think for what I don't know what you expected from him, but he's definitely exceeded my expectations of what he was going to do. You can't say he hasn't, because the way you're talking about it last year.
That's your expectation.
What expectations do you have of him though? Because what did you see from him last year that said, oh, he needs to be better than he's been so far this season? Because you haven't seen a damn thing.
Yeah, like I said, last year all he did was lose weight and catch COVID.
Yeah, and he's done better than that already this year, no?
He's gained weight and scored. That's great. Now, I just feel like
your expectations are unrealistic.
It's not that it's unrealistic. I'm just seeing like, okay, what's it? I'm just monitoring. I don't want to give it like, classing. I'm just monitoring, just seeing like, okay, where the level's at. Because then, as I monitor, I can understand where my expectations. Because if I go, all right, cool, he needs to be at like 15, 16 points. 10 rebounds.
You want him to be at 15?
No, I'm saying like if I like put that position straight away there and then I haven't like monitoring like that, then I'm like, okay, that's a bit mad. But if I monitor everything, I say, okay, cool, he can get around between a 10 and 12 and grab a couple of rebounds. Cool, that's him. Like, I understand now.
Is that not what he's doing?
That's him.
Is that not what he's doing?
I wouldn't even be mad if he was averaging 8 points a game.
Bro, I feel like what you're asking of him is not what you're asking of everyone else.
I know, man. I'm just not seeing the effectiveness. The effectiveness, maybe because I'm looking outside the boat in it. You know what I mean? My eyes are wandering at others, and I'm saying like, right, even, you know. So
yeah, cool. I think really your real problem lies with your head coach or who your head coach was. So now you guys have finally fired Steve Nash. Yeah, you've brought peace to your day.
Finally,
you know the stress should be gone. And I'm even hearing rumblings that Ime Udoka is going to be the replacement head coach, which I personally don't think is going to happen. because of the situation of what he's been in trouble for.
But
I don't see. But however, if it happens,
the Celtics apparently said they'll
don't let him go. I don't think it's about that. I don't know if you guys want the bad press.
Because it's just like, it's kind of like,
I feel like you shouldn't care, to be honest, because
Yeah,
he might be the head coach, isn't it?
that's the thing. Like, it's all looking like a calamity because, like, cool, Caden Kyrie, great.
Yep.
Role players, Royce O'Neal defensively, great. Offensively, he's up and down, but you know what, cool. But just looking at this, obviously, Joe Harris, he's going to
Shell of
take
himself.
because he is, I don't know what the heck is that, like.
He can't even shoot right now.
Wherever this is,
Last
this ain't
season
it.
too, he couldn't shoot.
He was injured all of last year, bro. He didn't play.
All of y'all stay was he?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He missed the whole of the season.
Yeah, so it's like, and I'm just like, alright, cool. I don't know what's going on there. Seth Curry needs to hurry up because I don't know what Joe Harris is doing. And it's just, now we're gonna say, okay, we need to get someone of, like I say, bring Ime Udoka. If that happens,
You're gonna end up with Quinn Snyder. I know you are, but yeah, go on. He's not a good coach. He's not a good coach.
I don't want Quinn Snyder.
Why is he a good coach?
He managed to get the Utah Jazz to the first seed. I don't know how many times.
Bro,
kept them competitive in the playoffs.
Dwayne Casey did that 1 year and got fired the same year in Toronto.
That was not his fault, and partly because the system that was working was from the assistant coach that they promoted to the head coach.
I just feel like Quinn Snyder is one of those coaches who got lucky in terms of having particular players around him. They had a Rudy Gobert, who's a rim protector. Yeah. They had a Donovan Mitchell who just got the green light to go and score, and then everything around him was like role players, right? The reason for me that I don't think Quinn Snyder is a good head coach is because he should have taken Rudy Gobert out of how many playoff games? When teams went small, they kept Rudy out there. In fact, against the Clippers, the year that the Clippers beat them in the playoffs, after Kawhi got injured, it's because Rudy Gobert was still on the court when he shouldn't have been. We were playing Nick Batum at the 5 and winning matchups because of the fact that Rudy Gobert was like. Yeah. That's wholeheartedly the head coach's fault.
Then you got to take him out.
You're correct, but at the same time, who they put in him?
It doesn't matter. You just
anyone but him.
Because I'm
as long as he's how tall is Batum? 6'8"?
6'8", bro.
6'8".
I'm not saying that Nick Batum is not Klay Thompson from 3 innit. I'm not saying you need a defensive stopper out of there. You just need someone who can defend on the perimeter. That is not Gobert.
You're correct, but again, I don't know. Again, because we had the same argument on our podcast, and I was like, as much as I do not like Gobert. Mm-hmm. Who are they gonna put in for him that do so? At least having Gobert on the court means that if there's a play where someone comes to the rim, he can stop it because no one else in the team can.
But then when Gobert's on the court, everyone plays 5 out with a small big.
The reason why
it's a catch-22. It's just a horrible catch-22. They having him was a horrible catch-22 situation.
It was a mess anyway because they had to take him off, and just as long as it was someone that was 6'7", 6'8", or just anyone that can defend the perimeter. Reason being is, they've left Gobert on the court, so okay, cool, 5 out. This is why, because now whoever's the 5 on that team, Batum, Gobert is nowhere in the paint now, so no shot blocking is happening, and that's what he is known for. Boom, that ability now sliced away. He's on the perimeter, looking like Bambi because he ain't guarding nobody out there. Yeah. Then what's even worse on top of that? I don't know what he's been doing in the off seasons. Clearly, cheese and wine and just chilling in Paris because he's what 7'1". He's 7'1". Yeah. I've got Nick Batum 6'8". I'm 7'1". Yeah. Give me that ball in the post, and he has no moves. Offensively, it was nothing. Yeah, unless it was a pick and roll, or he's going like it was nothing. He has no post move, and there's no kind of defense at all for this because the Eurobasket that just went. Yeah, he was posting up Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder is like he's 6 foot,
6'1",
6'1", 6'1". Gobert is 7'1", and he couldn't post up against him. The move is like that move. You know when in 2K you're an overall 60, you ain't got no animations put on. That's exactly. I'm thinking you're 7'1" and you have no. What are you working on? What are you working on?
That's where part of me goes, alright, cool. Quinn Snyder, all them years you had to go bare, you should have been having him work on the post.
Develop him.
Whoever also was the coach that.
Whoever's the big man coach, yeah.
I don't know why you guys never thought we should work on his post moves. You just let him just be this defensive guy. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Another reason why Quinn Snyder is not a good coach. He was the head coach for Utah when they played against Denver in the bubble, right? And Utah did what? Blew a 3-1 lead, right? I look at Quinn Snyder the exact same way I look at Doc Rivers. They're the same guy, in my opinion. They just have different coloured skin.
Yeah, at least let Quinn blow his second 3-1 lead. Doc's done 2.
I mean,
he done 2, is it 3?
Doc, he blew a 3-1 lead to
the Rockets.
He did it twice.
Yeah, he did.
He did it for us. He blew a 3-1 lead against Houston in 2015. He blew a 3-1 lead to Denver and to Dallas, because I remember I think
Denver were down 3-1 and they came back.
Yeah, so he definitely blew 2 one against Houston, one against Denver. Yeah. But Doc is a different animal altogether. We're going to talk about Doc soon. But I look at Quinn Snyder the exact same way, so I don't think that's a fix for you guys, is it? Even Udoka is the best head coach available,
honestly,
right now for
Quinn Snyder, right? And just alone with Donovan Mitchell and Gobert, they're not two massive personalities as stars, right?
Yeah, and he couldn't even keep
even
the pace,
that
man.
He couldn't. Like, I don't think putting Quinn Snyder on the Nets, it's just basically putting Steve Nash of experience. It's not going to work out.
Okay, I agree. I think my pushback is, I just think Quinn Snyder's a better coach than a lot of people give him credit for. I understand the Utah situation. I understand why people would say no, but I still think he's a better coach. I think he still made that team way better than it should have been, even with.
Definitely not taking anything away. Like, he's still done well. He's still first seed, and there was in the playoffs, so everything. So obviously, cool. Hats off to him, 100%.
But you're correct.
I think Udoka would make sense because first of all, he just beat your ass last season. 4-0'd you.
Perfect game plan as well. You know.
Yes, 4-0'd you. So it's one of the ones where there's respect there because obviously first USA team gold medal, he was there, part of it as well, assistant.
Was he assistant on that coaching staff?
He was part of the coaching staff, yeah.
He was on the Brooklyn coaching staff as well.
Because I remember KD was like, the Boston night.
So
and he
obviously
worked with Ben before in Philly too.
So like he's got history and good relationships with the players, and he's got that respect. And on top of that, him coming in and saying, "You guys really can't chat to me because what I done to you lot last year. What are you gonna do?" I hear it. You're not cool. You do a thing. So I think that will be the best suitor that's available due to everything that's happened, the relationships that he has. He knows how to work with star players, make them coexist. E.g. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Yeah. After all those rumors, they thrived. So he built that as well, and you can see the effects that he's had on Joe Mazzulla, who's also interim coach at the moment. So we can see his history, what he's done, how he's been doing, and especially the coach to player connection, which is very, very, very key. This is the best suitor that's available, and it makes the most sense. Will there be bad press? Yes, there will be. But oh well.
Care if you win a championship.
Exactly. So,
do you think there's still a chance that Brooklyn can win a championship this year?
As long as you have KD in the team, there's always a chance.
Because we've got KD and Kyrie, there is still a chance. But the rest of that roster is.
I think you do need a rim protector, and I saw Dwight Howard was talking to Shannon Sharp.
Yeah.
And,
I saw that.
And he was saying how he doesn't understand how Brooklyn didn't want to take him. Brooklyn said they wanted a shot maker for 3. Bro, you're one of the worst defensive teams I've seen in recent history.
I blame Mike D'Antoni for that nonsense.
Slightly.
Mike D'Antoni being on your coaching staff that first year.
Is he still going to be there?
No, he's gone now. He went after they lost to Milwaukee in the first year. He lost after that year.
Because he wants to be a head coach.
But he's the one that taught Steve Nash in Phoenix and then came to his coaching staff his first year of coaching and showed him how to coach. All his coaching ideas come from Mike D'Antoni. So a lot of the way you guys played was trying to be like a weird Mike D'Antoni region. And it's made not working.
No sense. That's what I'm saying. Like,
seconds.
That's a very good shout as well. Like, I don't understand what it's like. Why do you want a shot? Like, there's already KD and Kyrie. Yeah. Obviously, let's just in terms of for roster's sake, will they be so? In terms of shooters, right? Shot makers already got KD and Kyrie. Cool. Yeah. You can put Seth Curry there as well because he's made once he's back some shots. Yeah. Joe Harris is supposed to be a shooter, so he needs to get his rhythm. Yeah, we've already got that there. Royce O'Neal as well is there, two-way.
Very good.
We've still got TJ Warren to come back as well. At
Cam
least he's gonna
Thomas
do
as well
some-
as a shot.
Cam Thomas, Patty Mills as well. Yeah, Patty Mills is still there. We don't need any. We've got people to shoot already. Yeah.
you need
What we
defenders.
need is defending, and this is why I feel like Nick Claxton's defensive presence is there, but it's one of the ones where, like, for example, the game against the Pelicans where he was there getting key blocks, everything right there, but then it's like rebounding. Oh my gosh, rebounding issue. And
his
KD,
rebound numbers
even
aren't
this
great.
season, you've been seeing KD's been blocking a lot of people. He's been kind of taking on that, and it's like cool that and rebounding. But having a Dwight there will be good because we already know, okay, interior wise,
Yeah, we know what Dwight does, isn't it?
we know what he does. He's gonna get rebounds. What Andre Drummond was supposed to do, Dwight will actually do.
You need a Dwight Howard or a JaVale McGee. I think McGee would be a great fit. Actually,
McGee
to
would be
honest.
an amazing, perfect fit. Great, but
And
like
someone great for Claxton to learn from as well.
Dwight Howard is there. Why have we not got? I'm gonna have to make some calls because this makes no sense.
But the fact that like he actively said that he said I want to be there, and they were like, no, we want to shoot him big. That's outrageous to me,
we
bro.
don't need
That's
no
dumb.
shooting big.
That's
Shooting
dumb.
big for what? This is what I'm saying. It's been,
That's-
I need to
yeah.
know who said it. I need to know exactly. I need to know who exactly said that we need a shooting big.
Sean Marks.
I want him out.
About that. Let's talk about that quickly. So, what confuses me the most about this Steve Nash firing is that I don't understand the timing of it, because
Neither-
KD requested a trade.
Exactly.
Yeah?
Mhm.
Then KD came out and said the only way I want to come back here is if that Steve Nash and Sean Marks are gone. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yeah, because
Mainly Steve
yeah.
Nash, but Sean Marks is
Okay. So then Josiah said, you know what, big man, you don't call the shots here, I do. We're not getting rid of anyone until I say it's ready. 7 games into the regular season, they've now fired the head coach. Is that just to prove a point to KD that you don't run things, I choose when things happen? Or did something happen in between that? Because I don't understand the time. If you've now said, I'm sticking with this head coach until I'm ready to let him go, he should at least finish the season, right?
Okay, who? So during the off season,
Yes.
who was available in terms of coach? Who
The
was
same coaches that are here now.
besides Ime?
You think because Ime Udoka isn't at Boston, that's the whole reason why they fired Steve Nash?
No. But I'm saying obviously during that. Okay,
Quinn
that
Snyder
didn't
was still
happen.
there.
But they don't want
They don't
Quinn
want Quinn
Snyder.
Snyder.
Quinn Snyder's
Okay.
only on the list purely because he's an available coach.
Yeah.
They're like, when you look, there's like people who was there is like,
Mike Brown's now in. Is it Mike Brown?
no, he's in Sacramento.
Sacramento's.
Doing a good job.
So it's just one of the ones where I don't think the options were booming like that. But then as the off season, obviously things happen. I think maybe they plotted like, let's keep an eye on the situation because then if he's gone and we can nab him. And I think what Josiah, I think he must have been drinking some tea and said, this Nash guy really is arse. Like, I might have made a mistake. Maybe I should listen to KD, but I don't want to give him the power to make him feel like he can do everything. I still want to show that I run things, but I'm going to make this choice now because I want to. So I think it's a thing like that.
It's wild. It's wild to me.
And on top of that, I think also with Sean Marks being involved in there as well, I think it was like, that was going to be tough because this is kind of my guy. I ain't going to let him go. And Sean Marks be making some questionable. I'm sure it was him that said shooting big. Get that Australian out here, man.
No, it definitely was him. I mean, well, I was listening to, getting ready for work, I was listening to Brian Windhorst's podcast. And the first thing they did was talk about the Nets, and they were like, it's interesting because Steve Marks and Steve Nash are best friends.
Yeah.
They've known each other for 20, 30 years. Clearly, this decision, even though it seems like it just come now, clearly it was something they've been thinking about
Oh, it's
for the
been
past
cooking.
7-10 days.
It's been
which
cooking.
means since the first week of the season, at
Yeah.
least, you guys were like, he's gone. Which you brought up, you said something when you were saying when Ime became available, do you think, I think that's exactly what happened.
You think they said, yeah.
I think Udoka they saw what was going on in Boston. They probably did the little vetting process behind the scenes and gone, it's not too
It
bad.
wasn't banging.
Let's see how the season goes.
Yeah.
If it starts off good, we can't fire Nash because we're playing well. If we're not playing well, and Josiah, like you said, probably went to Sean and said, listen, this is your boy. We let you make your decision. It's not working. It's time to move on.
That's not a horrible shout, That really isn't a horrible shout. And it would add a lot of context or make a lot of sense as to why they did this 7 games in. I still struggle to I don't know. The thing is, yeah, I don't know if they must have been conversations going on between Udoka and Nets. I don't think they would have done this without that happening.
Of course.
Also, the Nets and Boston would have been in conversation as well. Because
of the
Boston
trade,
also, even though he's suspended, they still have him on contract, innit?
They'd have to pay his contract, wouldn't they?
Exactly. So Boston would have to agree to let Udoka go to Brooklyn.
In fact, no, wouldn't they have to? Isn't it like when Boston had to
Trade Doc Rivers?
Wouldn't it have to be something like that?
I think because he's suspended, they might just like terminate his contract all in all.
Yeah, because they can say, look, he violated principle as part of the like I said, if whatever contract.
Also, what would Boston want from Brooklyn?
That's a good point. Oh, Steph Curry.
Like when
no chance.
When the Clippers
but they take him.
when the Clippers got Doc Rivers, what did we give them?
Cash and something else.
It was cash. I think we sent over at least one or two players. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was like
I think it was a draft pick and cash. Actually.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was like a mutually beneficial deal, and I think Boston saw what Doc Rivers was and had enough of that nigga. So, moving forward, Rodney, because I don't know when you guys are gonna sort out your head coach, innit? For now, who's your head coach?
Jack Vaughn.
Jack Vaughn.
Yeah.
Who miraculously in the last 2 years I say 2 years, he's been there for a minute, has grown a beard, a salt and pepper beard at that, because of the stresses that not even KD, Kyrie Irving has caused that franchise. Ben Simmons is now causing that franchise as well.
James Harden was
causing a whole heap of stresses too. You know, Brooklyn have definitely shortened a lot of their staff's lifespan, most likely. Where do you see? Two questions. One, do you have any faith that Sean Marks can sort your team out before playoffs? And two, what expectation do you have now going forward if you are able to get Ime Udoka, who is a competent head coach, in fact, an above competent head coach? He's a great head coach.
He's one of the best.
So I do not trust Sean Marks at all. I have no faith in him.
Yep.
No faith whatsoever at all. So I don't trust him to sort out this team at all.
Yeah.
However, if Ime Udoka does come on, I have more faith that he will sort out the team, obviously on court and in general for the roster to actually improve. I think all Sean Marks will do is get paid to listen to get local advice from Ime on how to pattern things.
Yeah.
That's how the only way.
And I think that's the only way you guys can succeed, if you let him have more control.
100%.
In terms of like I think Sean Marks' role needs to be reduced.
Yes.
To just the financial aspect of it.
He's giving Pelinka vibes.
Yeah, man. Just give a bit more control to the people who actually know about this. I don't know Sean Marks' credentials. I'd love for you to tell me. Like what gave him what gave him the license to?
Was he there when you guys had like D-Lo and?
Yes, he was.
So his thing is that he made the D-Lo trade and brought in talent to Brooklyn. Because at one point you had Jarrett Allen,
but they just
who you drafted.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
D-Lo, who you acquired via trade. Dinwiddie, who I think you got for a trade as well. I don't think you drafted Dinwiddie, but again, like you had a relatively young Brooklyn team who was put together. Like it was either draft picks or trades.
Good players, man. It was a good team to watch.
It wasn't through like free agency signings or anything.
That's what I'm saying. This is why I have no fear, because like even pulling that James Harden trigger, because when it happened, I remember when it happened, I wasn't happy.
No,
I wasn't happy at all. I said, I fake it to make it in it, but I was not happy at all. I was saying, but if we do get Ime Udoka, expectation, I'm gonna be real and I'm gonna be honest. Obviously, I expect to. I expect to make the playoffs 100%.
You're already gonna make the playoffs now, man. With Steve Nash, you're gonna make the playoffs.
That was you was. I know you feeling away.
Wait, hang on. I didn't know you guys were 2-6. I thought you won more games than that.
No, 2-6. The Chicago game made them 2-6. Chicago game made them 2-6.
This is why
you have a worse record than the Hornets. You haven't got LaMelo Ball.
This is what I'm saying.
You have a worse record than the Heat, the Knicks, the Wizards.
Cam, I know.
I just want to reiterate.
This is what I know.
Let me look in the West to your West then as well. You got a worse record.
Everybody.
You got a similar record to the Kings, the Lakers, same amount of wins. Minnesota, OKC.
Listen,
OKC been balling this year.
They have.
I know.
It doesn't change the point.
this is what I'm saying.
Utah.
I know. I know.
That's the point you started to laugh. This is
This is what I'm saying. I expect for things to flip and we make the playoffs and we get a good rhythm. How far we go, I'm gonna keep it a buck.
I'll be honest. You should be respecting the finals, man.
Listen,
At least Eastern Conference.
with Ime Udoka being there and assuming he gets more control and maybe like a bit more moves can be made.
I think you only need one like move. I think would put you over.
Dwight
the edge.
Howard.
Yeah. Not even just Dwight, just a defense. I don't know who else is out there. If
Yeah,
you whether
and
it's trade or
just
what,
defender, yeah.
a defensive big, I think you'll be pretty much good because then
Yeah.
you have KD, Kyrie, Royce O'Neal. Wait, KD and Kyrie is your offense. You've got Royce O'Neal, a defensive big, and you've got Ben Simmons if he can play. You've got you'll have three good defenders
Defenders at
and
least,
two offensive players, and then
So
everyone
I
else
think
can fit around that.
having control and being able to do that, we should be able to make Eastern Conference Finals at least.
book it. Yeah,
Do you know what? I think at the very least, Udoka's gonna get Ben Simmons playing. I think the very least,
something,
Yeah.
please, man.
very least that will
Please.
happen.
Because I think that's what it really. Because if Ben Simmons decides, you know what, I'm gonna play, and it just
it's finals.
freely does it,
In fact, yeah, you Milwaukee Eastern Conference Finals. That will happen.
because then it's just oof, like he will then actually run the offense better. He will be more free flowing. Things that will be passing correctly. He'll be aggressive. It will make. I'm telling you, he just needs to get Ben Simmons playing, get defensive big. Those two things can change everything.
Easier said than done, of course.
100%.
You know, I can understand and respect that. I think you should have a high expectation of your team because you see your two best players and they're playing pretty well.
That's the thing. They're playing great.
So
They're not the issue.
There's no two.
So
playing
it's
better than them.
the support around them that does need to improve, and definitely part of that is just the coaching alone.
Yeah.
We'll see. Since we're already talking about one head coach, we might as well move to another. I've called Doc
Fire
the
him.
Doc the Flop Rivers
Should have fired him game one.
for many years now.
Doc Floppery.
100%. That raspy voiced nigger needs to go.
They should
Okay.
have fired Doc Rivers last
Yes.
season when James Harden all of a sudden just stopped scoring after they got him.
People are saying James Harden was trying to sabotage Doc Rivers though. They're trying to get. Ice came on here. Conspiracy Cam said, yeah, that Doc Rivers, yeah, was about to get swindled out of his job by James Harden, who came in out of shape again and was playing badly, to get him out and bring Mike D'Antoni in so that they could reenact Houston Part 2.
Yeah, which is what I am afraid of with Philly because they got Daryl Morey there, and I do not want them to get Mike D'Antoni. It will ruin everything
For who?
for Embiid.
Oh yeah.
You know, part of it, I hear that, but the other part, I think it will be a better version because Embiid clearly, obviously, now Embiid's the better player. He's dominant. I think having Embiid there, if they rejigged and done the whole got Mike D'Antoni and everything, I think it would be better because then
I
obviously.
don't know big man, man.
But you know, it is
He
Joel
doesn't.
Embiid. Obviously, you don't know, so you're gonna have to do a little sign there. But Joel Embiid will still thrive. He'll be fine. Maxey is showing so much promise, and I think James Harden's he really likes Maxey as well. So it's not like
Maxey's nice. Maxey's nice.
So
Very nice.
yeah, I don't think it'll be bad, but obviously it'll be dangerous because then you might just have Joel Embiid becoming a stretch, bro.
He'll make him a stretch forward, which he'll be able to do it. Especially in the D'Antoni system will make everybody look good. That's what he does.
Yeah.
The players that they have there are built for a D'Antoni system as well.
Yeah.
I just don't want to see it again. I don't want to see
Yeah.
James Harden doing that. I like the fact that James Harden's taking mid-range jump shots.
Yeah.
It's actually a good thing. He was ruining his game when he stopped taking mid-range jump shots. It made him too reliant on taking threes or trying to get to the rim. That's how his hamstring got messed
getting
up.
fouled doing either of the two.
Yeah. If he
Okay.
was taking middies, he probably wouldn't have had a hamstring problem, and Brooklyn would have won a chip. Simple.
Oof.
That being honest.
Oof.
But he wasn't taking middies, no.
No, he wasn't.
Sorry. And then what? Joel. I mean, number one, Joel needs to find a way to be able to stay in shape on a consistent basis because the way he's started this season, I don't like it.
I thought Joel Embiid was gonna come out. I said prior to the season he was my MVP vote, and he's making me look stupid as hell because
Stinks up the bed. Right now, I feel like he's trying to get Doc fired, and I hear it.
slightly
I hear it because there's no reason. Like he looks so
sluggish, mad sluggish. Yeah,
so sluggish. Even when he dropped 41, it was like it's the worst 41 I've ever seen him play. Bro. This isn't good. It's not nice to watch.
I don't know what's going on with Embiid. I think
Doc Rivers out.
Yeah, he needs to
just like for me, I look at some of the games that that Philadelphia have lost. Yeah, they lost to Boston by 9 on opening night, Milwaukee by 2 the game after, Toronto by 10, and then last night they lost to Washington by 10 as well.
Milwaukee and Boston, fair enough in honesty. Right?
Toronto by 10 as well. I don't know if I said Toronto by 10.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
I don't care how good Pascal and Square. I don't care. No, that's terrible.
Now, granted, they did come back the next night and beat Toronto by 22. Like they got it back in blood. I ain't gonna say that they didn't do that. But I just look at Philadelphia and I'm like, this team are very underwhelming. Like extremely for how good Embiid was last year, for how good Maxey is this year, with how much better James Harden's looking as well. This team, in my opinion, should be having the same record as Milwaukee. I understand the season just started. It's early days. They can start going on a run very soon, today, tomorrow, whenever. I don't care. But from my expectation of what I had for this Philadelphia team, I think they were most likely to be the best team in the East. It's difficult to say, but with Milwaukee having a Chris Middleton injury, Cleveland, we all thought they would be better than they were last year, and they definitely are. Yeah. But I wasn't sure how it was going to look with Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland being injured early by getting poked in the eye as well. He had to miss some time. You know, all of these factors coming into it. Brooklyn still having Ben and being uncertain as well. Philadelphia, one of the only teams outside of Boston, I would say, that
looks stable.
Was stable. They made a very good acquisition, getting what I thought was I still think it is getting PJ Tucker and addressing some of their needs, and making the team work a bit more better around Embiid. I don't know why it's not working, and then I have to look at the common denominator for all of these situations. If we look at how many superstars, Doc Rivers has coached
and ruined.
I can't even necessarily say ruined, but
contributed.
Blake ain't got no knees, man. Blake ain't got no knees. He ruined.
I'm gonna say Blake because when Blake was in LA, in the Clippers, I think Blake was like a top 2 power forward in the league. I don't think people were gonna question that.
No,
he had Blake and CP. Yeah, he had Kawhi and PG. Yeah, he then has now inherited this gift of a team in it with Embiid and Harden. So he's had 6 superstars. Superstars, chuck a couple stars in there as well, maybe.
Role players as well.
Great role players, great teams. Maxey. He's inherited. Everywhere he's gone. I can't say everywhere, but for the last few teams he's gone to, he's inherited great teams. Yeah. That Boston team, he inherited that. That's how they put that together. It's not like he came in and completely shook up the structure of it anyway. And what has he really got to show for it? I've just named 6 superstars over a number of years, and he's got no championships amongst any of those teams.
For the past 10 seasons.
Doc hasn't got any finals appearances with any of those teams either.
He doesn't. I don't even think he has that many Western Conference or even Eastern Conference finals appearances with those teams. I think he may have one.
Bro, he didn't make the conference finals once at the Clippers.
You're correct.
He didn't make it once at the Clippers.
And the moment he goes, they make it.
This is what I'm saying. Ty Lue got us there
with injury.
Without Kawhi.
Ty Lue is a great coach.
He is.
Why? He is a great coach.
I think Doc historically. I mean, I can't disrespect him too much because he's part of that elite club. He has 1,000 wins. I think he has now.
It's season wins.
Yeah, him. I think it includes all wins in general. But it's like rare air with like him, Popovich. I think Red Auerbach and a few other guys are in that. There's not a lot of them anyway.
But
so he gets a lot of. Yes, sir.
Sorry, but you get those wins because you keep getting positions where you're getting hired. And if you keep inheriting, like you said, he's inheriting great teams. Of course, he's going to end up with
50 win, 60 win teams every single year, pretty much. So of course you're gonna get there eventually. Yeah.
It's more impressive that Pop has it because as Pop built a system, stayed in one place, he's had to rotate stars. Now he has no stars.
Yeah.
Him getting those wins is way more impressive.
Because he got them all at one place.
Yeah.
More.
And he got more than one ring.
Many rings to show for it.
More than one finals appearance, more than one ring. That's important.
Pop had, I think Popovich has 5 rings, 5 championships.
About 7 finals appearances, 8 finals appearances.
I want to say that. I think 7 or 8 is accurate. I know they lost 1 year to Miami.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think every time they've lost because there's not many of them. I think they made the finals 1 year against Detroit and lost as well.
Yeah, I think
Detroit
that's the only 2 they've lost.
Yeah, okay.
And
so
yeah.
Oh, he has 6 appearances in NBA Finals.
Oh,
6. So he's the only one who lost was to Miami. Wow.
If that's the only one you lost and you got it back next year, it's fine by me.
Yeah, to be honest.
Take it.
So I think Doc is not what his record says he is. No. I think people need to look at the teams he's coached and say, well, that team is supposed to have 50 wins or that team's supposed to have this level of success. Yeah. When we measure teams, we don't just talk about regular seasons. Because like I mentioned before, Utah and Toronto have both finished first in their respective conferences and done fuck all in come playoff time with that in that exact same year. You know, it's not all about having the number 1 seed or having 50, 60 wins. It's about what you do come playoff time. Yeah. When there's only 7 games to and of those 7 you need to win 4. You know, when the game slows down and you really see a level of coaching. Yeah. You spoke about Ime Udoka and what he did. Look at what he did to I've never seen any team do what Boston did to KD.
KD like that.
KD got drafted for 07. Since I've never ever seen any team do that to him.
He didn't know what to do.
No one really has an answer for him. But
it took him 4 games to figure out what to do. It took him 4 games to figure out how to score against.
It took him 0 games.
No,
KD.
Yeah, it took him 4. Last game he dropped like 30 tackles.
I don't know if it was an efficient one though. I like every point that KD got in the playoffs last year, he had to work his ass off to get. Yeah. Whereas normally, I'm not saying it's easy for him, but he makes it look easy, and it was not looking easy this time against Boston. So, I think you look at the Lue, the Ime Udoka, you look at JB Bickerstaff in Cleveland, Dwayne Casey, who I think deserves more flowers than he ever gets.
Yeah.
In Detroit as well. Like a lot of these head coaches who. Say again?
Budenholzer.
Yep, as well. Oh, of course, yeah.
People forget about Atlanta. Atlanta was a good team with him there, and then he went to Milwaukee.
Facts as well.
Team, like.
Even Steve Kerr, who I talk a lot of shit about. I mean,
Steve Kerr is a great coach. He inherited a great situation.
He did,
but he had to put that system in place. He had to work. They weren't playing like that before.
Steve Kerr is definitely better than Doc Rivers for the pure fact he inherited a great team and they won,
and they keep on winning.
Exactly. over and I think last year I had to actually give him some respect because that team went through a lot. They changed a lot, and he still managed to get them working, get them going, and they won a championship. Whereas you look at Doc Rivers, who again has inherited these great teams, and there was 1 year the Clippers, in my opinion, were 12 man deep, very similar to how they are this year. Where I think like we can go all the way down to the end of the bench, and those guys should be getting minutes. Or like Ty Lue has a tough job this year, but Doc Rivers had a team like that where we had obviously CP, DJ, Blake. Then it was Paul Pierce. We had JJ Redick. We had Josh Smith. We had Jamal Crawford. We had Lance Stevenson. Matt Barnes. We had Glenn Davis. Like we had a lot of guys who they're not like all of them all stars at all. However, they're role players and they get minutes in it.
Killers in their positions.
Doc had a great team and did fuck all with it. I said to my boy Andre, who was on this podcast, who's a Philadelphia fan, I said Brett Brown was the reason that Philadelphia were not winning anything. And I stand by that. But I think Doc Rivers is going to be a very, very similar situation, just dressed up differently. Yeah. Where people aren't going to see Doc as bad as he was because they're going to get the regular season wins. But come playoff time, when coaching, like the details matter, I don't think he doesn't make adjustments, bro. Like I've seen it. I've seen the 3-1 leads being blown more than once. He does not make the adjustments necessary to win playoff games.
He's an inspiration guy. That's how they won Boston. Is inspiration, speeches.
Slightly, but again, you look at that championship in Boston. Like, why that team was always gonna win. Sure. Like, granted, they played against the Lakers was not easy.
It wasn't easy.
It was not easy.
The only we remember him Mbutu. That's what I remember from him winning. Yeah, everyone playing, but from Doc Rivers, I remember Mbutu. I don't remember any coaching. I don't remember any great play he drew up that helped them win the game. I don't remember any of that.
But
we can go to the other side and we can say that from the other coaches. Yeah. We remember. I remember players with Eric Spoelstra drew up that specifically for Miami games. Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, I remember.
Say that.
Yeah, 100%. And again, that Boston team had 4 All-Stars on it in Rondo, KG, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen.
Come on.
Granted, they weren't all in their primes at the same time. However, we're not going to question if they were all still All-Stars. They were also very serviceable and still like in position to.
And they had a young Tony Allen as well as a defensive guard, and you had a young Kendrick Perkins as a defensive. Like you have Glenn Davis. You had these. They had a great Boston team.
They had a good team, very good team. They had the White Mamba, Brian Scalabrine.
Shout out Scalabrine, man. I miss the White Mamba sometimes, man. NBA ain't the same as the White Mamba.
Oh my god, yeah, man. Like he had a good team over there, innit? So I'm not saying that you have to have a shit team and win. However, I do take a lot more notice of those head coaches like Bickerstaff last year who did a lot with a very young team.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they didn't reach where they should have. Even Nick McMillan in Atlanta now is a great
coach.
Is a great head coach, innit?
Did get them to a conference final.
I mean, I'll give Doc for this. That 1 year where they didn't have Blake, didn't have CP, and they hadn't got Kawhi and PG. He got the Clippers to the playoffs.
When we had that was Shea's. That was Shea's
first year.
Yeah, his first year in the league when we traded Tobias to Philadelphia.
Yeah. Pat Bev was playing point.
Yeah, we had an arse team that year.
You had an arse team.
But again, we had like that team were known for the bench though, innit? Like Montrezl Harrell and Lou Williams were coming off the bench on that team.
Doing them.
And I think in all honesty, if he never had that year, he wouldn't be in Philly right now. That year saved his career. That year saved his career.
I do think the fact that they think of him as a decorated head coach though always saves him in it.
That will always help you. But in terms of getting another big, the reason why he was there when Kawhi came was because that year he kept you guys in the playoffs. So there's no way you can get rid of a coach that showing that. Well, we have no stars.
100%.
We took Golden State to how many games?
He got so much respect that year. You're 100% right.
And then it's like cool. Everything he's done before, the way we see him, and then he's done this. Bang. Get Kawhi. The 3-1 lead. I can't stay here no more. It's too much. We've done 2-3-1 leads. You gotta go. Goes to Philly. Everything you've done before, everyone remembers reputation. We forget about the 3-1 leads. It's fine. You're in Philly now. It's new. You're back in the East. This is your home. It's fine. We're watching him messed up the Ben Simmons situation.
The Ben meltdown.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's Ben's mental. That's you're the coach.
Yeah, he actually started that. You know,
it's Doc's fault. It's all Doc's fault.
He actually started. I can't lie.
That's
on him.
He was doing it last year. He was doing it in the playoffs with James Harden and he started talking smack about his own players. And then when players don't start playing as hard as they were before, you wonder why you in the press conference talking that's about me. I don't want to hear that.
Philly is a tough place to play anyway because their fans are mad hostile. Like I remember, I think they were getting booed in one of their early games. It was either
this season.
Yeah, I think it was either Milwaukee. No, because Boston was definitely away. Boston were at home for their game, so it must have been the Milwaukee game. Were they at home for the Milwaukee game?
Yeah, they were at home for Milwaukee, but they were playing really good Milwaukee.
In stints, there was early in the game. I saw Embiid getting booed the fuck. Like
I remember.
Really
I remember him getting.
And they were aggressively booing Embiid until Maxey started because it was Maxey that started the run to get them back into it, and then James as well. But yeah, Embiid was getting booed to high hell, man.
In all honesty, he deserves it. But Embiid can take it. Embiid getting booed. All of these things means that in all honesty,
he's a troll anyway.
Yeah, he's gonna come back. He's gonna get better purely because he doesn't. When he hears the noise, he hears people talking about stuff, he takes it in and goes, you know what, I do need to improve. I do need to play. I'm not playing well. I'll get better.
He's aware.
He's like Giannis in that sense. He's not as good as Giannis, unfortunately. I'm not going to say that.
Embiid's very good, man.
I think Embiid he's not as consistent at being at that top level.
Yeah, we've seen Giannis do it for the last 4 or 5 years. 4 years, more likely to be since his first MVP.
He always improves something.
I mean, part of that is his health as well. Giannis is a much healthier player than Embiid, so that's always going to hold you back.
But Embiid should be coming out this year for blood because he should have won one of the 2 MVPs that year.
He lost year.
Or I was saying the year before as well. Either
that 2 years, well,
it's like he just
one of Jokic's ones should be Embiid's, but
it seems like he just kind of settled. Like he just settled. All right, cool. Maybe it's a myth in it. Let me just bake off or something.
No, but you got
I think there is a level of adjustment that he has to make of his game, just because of the fact that Maxey is taking a much more active role on offense now, and now James is taking a more active role than he was as well. Last year people were settling for James Harden averaging 20 points and 28 and 8 basically.
Yeah.
But he's looking like a different James Harden's looking like Houston James again.
He wants to average 30 and 10.
Which I think is better for Philadelphia, and I don't think Embiid needs to suffer about it. I think the guys who are going to suffer are Tobias Harris, really.
Yeah.
In my opinion, he's the only person whose points are going to suffer because
Tobias has been suffering since he got to Philly.
Realistically.
I don't think that was a good
he had that fringe all-star. He probably should have been an all-star in my opinion when he was in the Clippers.
Yeah.
Just before he got chased to Philadelphia, he was a fringe all-star, but since then he's. But saying that, his numbers are still pretty nice. He averages between like 17 and 19 a season.
I think he's like 18.
He's an efficient player. He doesn't play badly. It's just that
he doesn't
when
get the
someone's
touches.
not effective.
Yeah.
Like, you can have numbers but not effective.
And it feels like empty points.
Empty buckets. Yeah.
It's sad, man. Doc Rivers need to get him out.
I don't like saying you should fire anybody. I never agree with that. But at the same time,
Especially a black coach.
I just
well.
think
I've seen that.
it's just time to move on for him to sow his seeds elsewhere.
go back to Orlando.
There is no elsewhere. He's done.
He should go back to Orlando.
Doc is too old to start at a shit team now. That's what I'm saying.
Him.
He's not going to be a head coach at a bad team.
Doc in Orlando. No. We have to keep Paolo Banchero safe.
I don't.
We
You know
have
what?
to.
I actually
And Bobo.
Yes, yeah.
I think Doc would actually be better served at a young team than he would be at a team going for a championship.
I don't think he has the patience, man. I really don't.
Yeah.
I agree, but
Also, development-wise, what we've seen from him that indicates that he's like Maxey 100%. But I feel like we've been seeing signs of
Yeah,
Maxey.
we've been seeing that for that's him.
we knew Maxey was going to be good. But it still does take a coach to go.
Yeah.
We're going to keep you in those spots. We're going to keep letting you do that because clearly he's been killing it. So we got.
Yeah, facts.
Because there are a lot of coaches that would have kept Maxey on the bench. So.
But in my opinion, it would be risky to bring Doc Rivers as a head coach in.
Yeah, and all that would be.
I don't think for young. I do not think for a young team because he's not there to.
Would you want him in Houston?
In all honesty,
Really?
yeah. Because I think part of the problem we have is Silas is a new coach and he's learning while these kids are learning. So you can't have someone who's learning teaching people that are learning.
I think just because he hasn't been a head coach for long doesn't mean he doesn't know how to develop talent now. And I think it's almost better in my opinion because Kevin Porter Jr.'s career was looking almost over in Cleveland.
But not because of his game, because of things outside of
Yeah,
his
he's
game.
100%. But you don't hear much noise about that anymore, though. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I mean, you're a Houston fan, right?
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna say
you know of these things.
that's
actually
one
happen.
thing that's good about Houston. One thing that especially when James Harden was there, we have a good culture of keeping things quiet. If things happen,
Shut
stay
down the
quiet.
rug.
That's a Houston state.
Yeah.
Anything that happens, not Houston
Texas.
State, Texas
Yeah,
State. Anything
yeah.
that happens here,
Yeah, that madness coming out of San Antonio.
that
No one knew about that.
we
And
didn't know
apparently that
nothing.
happened last year.
Yeah, we didn't know.
with Primo.
Yeah, he was doing it all last year. No, you're out. That's it.
So what, this is like
real.
he was doing it last year as well.
Yeah,
No, he's done it. They said he
was doing it last
9
year.
times.
Multiple
9
instances.
occasions this happened.
That's why they let him go.
But why? Man, say, like you're
Who
going
asked-
there to deal with and you're just off in pant. Like
Stephen A takes the piss out of people for fumbling bag for smoking weed, but fumbling the bag for flashing. What kind of pervert? Are you?
oh, like
I said, what's that? A-Dot acting like you never seen women before.
I don't you never see a woman before. It's like fam, just
How dare you?
just say to the woman you want her. So could you flash her 9 times?
Crazy
Bro, just
guy,
say you
bro.
like
And
her.
do you know what he tried
bro.
to say? He was like, "Oh, it was unintentional. I was wearing basketball shorts on like the physio table."
I sound like the Sean Watson.
What? Just shorts.
You gotta relax.
Just shorts.
You gotta
That's
relax.
intentional. Just shorts.
No, but even if you're wearing still, my shorts though, I've got my shorts on right now, they tied up. There's a string, you can tie up the drawer.
I don't know what he's doing, bro.
He's
Took
letting
the
it
strings
ride.
out. Yeah, but that's a
Talking
mezzanine.
crazy,
Right.
but yeah,
I don't
he's done
understand. I don't know what trauma he went through, but it has to do something with nudity because for you
it.
to
He
be
needs to
doing
stop.
that,
He needs to stop.
like you're an NBA player, and is the psychiatrist that you want to be? Does your like, bruv?
Bag fumbler
You
because
could
you
just
can't
go
keep
to
it
a
in your
college campus and
pants.
say, I'll play in the NBA. You're alright. You didn't have to. You're in
It's
San
even
Antonio. You could walk around San Antonio and they were like, oh, you're fine. You didn't have to
That's
do all of that.
crazy for him
not
to do
happy.
that. That's actually that's nuts.
He's getting sued by
Literally.
one of the women.
Literally, bro.
Hey, Should have claimed to be a nudist or something.
What's wrong with
That's
this youth,
mad.
bro?
I just because when I'm seeing it, I'm just like, wait, what? And then they weren't taking no action. What are you? What's going on?
I feel like
fishy going.
No, but the thing is, bro, this is consistent now. Boston had the fuckeries and they didn't talk about it, yeah? San Antonio had the fuckeries and they didn't talk about it. All that shit coming out of Phoenix as well with their owner, with Sava as well. All these teams have their own shit and they just keep trying to keep it quiet.
Sava, I think, is different because realistically, I think we've all had inclinations and we've had signs. There's always been things. Every year, there's always a bit something about Sava leaning towards it, and it never really fully came out. So Sava, I think, was always going to come. Adoka as well. We will never know until someone, most likely probably the woman involved, comes out and tells us
the full extent of what happened.
Because from what we do know, everything seems to be very consensual. Otherwise, he would have been fired.
It makes sense for her not to come out because there's people that do not want to. You don't want to be found out,
and we don't know who the woman is. There's rumors that it's someone's wife. It's very, very high in the organization and stuff like that, and things like that. So I understand why she's not coming out if it's like that. If it's the owner's wife and things like that, what people are saying, I'm like, I can understand why we don't know who she is and why we're not saying nothing. However, if everything was as consensual as we're saying, the way the media made it, he's not the.
They even said on the media consensual, like
they said it's consensual, but they made him sound like a monster. So, but this, whatever he's.
He's a monster because he's bro, Nia Long.
I'm sorry, man. No offense to Nia, but unfortunately, I understand. I love Nia Long too.
You even know what this woman he cheated with looks like. You're saying I understand.
I understand. I looked at her Instagram recently. Nia ain't Nia anymore. It didn't go
because she's hurt, bro. She's hurt.
Nah, before I looked at the pictures before the hurtness, man. You have to go back.
Out
of nostalgia alone. Out of nostalgia.
How long engaged they were for? Was that what, like 7 to 11 years?
What? I'm married with kids. Aren't they married with kids?
Yeah, they are now.
Yeah.
They're not married.
Yeah.
What?
I'm pretty
they're
sure
married, man.
They're married with kids.
He's married to her.
That's his wife.
He's crazy, bro. No. First of all, you're being mad disrespectful. I'm sorry. Because this is completely off topic now. We were talking about Doc, but Fresh Prince, yeah? Yeah, Nia Long.
Yeah.
The best man, Nia Long.
She was beautiful. Friday. Was she on Friday? Was it her on Friday?
Yes.
Yeah, Friday, Nia Long.
Friday, Nia Long. Love Jones, Nia Long.
Mm-hmm.
You're moving. Off nostalgia alone, I could never do that to her.
I knew it. Wow. Long and Udoka have not been married. They've been engaged since 2015.
They're not married.
He was always going to do this. They've been engaged since 2015. He was always going to do this. This was in the works.
They've got a son who's currently 10 years old.
They've been together for a minute, bro.
They've been together for 10 years and engaged for 7.
Boom, at any time. I'm disappointed, man. I can't lie.
I feel bad now. Shout out to you along because you stayed with that man for longer than you needed to at your age. No offense, but at the same time, I hear it.
But all I know is that everyone needs to take accountability, bro. Especially Malika Andrews.
But let's get back to Doc, or close Doc Rivers at least. I personally believe Doc should not be a head coach in the NBA anymore. I think.
Ooh.
No. I do believe that. Just because I feel like you've had so many good teams.
His time is done. How old is he? That
you haven't really done a great deal with. Yeah. Moving forward as well. Where would you be able to benefit? Like every time I look at him now, I just think he's gonna fuck it up.
61 years old.
Whoa! I thought he was in his 50s.
Nah, man.
Yeah, man.
Doc's been around for a minute, man.
Good for a 61-year-old.
Doc was coaching in Orlando before they went to the finals.
Yeah, he had them with T-Mac when T-Mac got there in Grant Hill.
That's a long time ago, man.
The reason Doc does this a lot. The same thing he did with the Clippers, he did with the Magic. He made them a good team before T-Mac and them got there. T-Mac and them got there, and they never got over the hump. Then he ends up in Boston, wins a ring. He does the same
obviously,
thing.
Grant Hill was injured that time, but still, I agree.
I agree. And T-Mac eventually started getting injured.
Yeah,
well,
I agree with you there, man. Yeah. I agree with you. It's a shame. It's a shame. But yeah, I think Doc as a head coach is done out here.
He can hang the boots up.
And there's man. And to be unfortunate for Philly, if they get rid of Doc, I have no clue who they can have as their coach.
Quinn Snyder.
You know who it's gonna be, bro?
Who?
D'Antoni. He's waiting the wing. I'm telling you,
he should have gone to the Hornets because D'Antoni should have gone to the Hornets this summer.
I'm gonna say it now. Yeah, the end of this season, Philadelphia will not make it to the conference finals.
No.
And as a result of that, I don't even know if they're gonna make it to much before that anyway. As a result of that,
Second round, they have to. They'll make second round.
why do they have to make second round? If they're not a top 4 seed, it's not guaranteed. I just mentioned to you,
There'll be a top 4 seed.
Boston, Milwaukee, Cleveland.
They ain't gonna play them in the first round.
Who?
So Philly.
You still have Miami, Toronto. Like the East is so stacked. Both sides are stacked, but the East is so stacked this year. If you're not a top 4 seed, you're automatically disadvantaged anyway.
We're not putting Chicago in there. No offense to Chicago. We're not putting Chicago in there. I don't care what their record looks like. We're not.
I don't think Chicago are a top tier team either way. But can you confidently say Philadelphia beating Chicago?
Yes, I can.
In a 7-game series?
In a 7-game series, most definitely.
I have
If it
zero
was a
confidence.
one-off game, I have no clue.
I have
But
zero
7 games,
confidence
I don't
in
know,
that,
just
bro.
Because not that James Harden is going to be.
They just lost to
but James
Washington as well.
I don't know. Caruso's a good defender, man.
He is.
And putting him on James Harden, that's very beneficial.
Chicago ahead of
But that's
ahead of Philly now as well.
Because Tyrese Maxey is there now. So we
Maxey
actually
can score 40 points, but is it going to be
Embiid
enough?
By the playoffs, we'll be scoring 40 points. In the playoffs, Embiid is not a letdown. He will always play well in the playoffs. That's one thing I'll give Embiid.
Yeah.
So if Maxey can drop 40 and Embiid can drop 40 in the playoffs, Chicago's not a
The
problem.
East is.
East is
Milwaukee,
tough, man. You don't.
Cleveland, Toronto, Atlanta, Boston, Chicago. We can say it's both played there. Chicago,
Washington look better than they did last year. Miami winning the third.
Stop it with Washington.
Brooklyn are still going to be knocking around at the 7th or 8th seed.
Brooklyn, by the time it gets to the playoffs, yes, that's the problem. Brooklyn is the main problem that Philly will have. Because
They'll never play each other.
yeah, you don't think so?
Philadelphia would have to be. I don't think Brooklyn are going to have higher than a 6th seed.
I
this
can
year.
see a 4
unless they do a mad. Unless Udoka comes in and they do a mad 180.
I can see a 4-5 matchup between those two.
I mean, I won't be surprised. You they did that.
Yeah.
We'll see it. We'll see. I'll be happy to see it.
Honestly,
I like
what
KD,
happens
man.
if either Brooklyn get 4th or Philly get 4th and the other gets 5th? They're playing each other first round.
That ain't gonna happen, though.
And in all honesty, unfortunately, I think Brooklyn will win that. I actually would think Brooklyn would beat Philly in the first round.
There's nothing. Just because no one in Brooklyn can guard Embiid, I have to go with Philly. Because there's absolutely no one in. Like, can you imagine what Embiid's going to do to Nick Claxton?
Okay, so let's say Embiid
Imagine
gets.
what Kyrie
Okay,
and
let's say.
KD are gonna do
Let's
to
say
that
no. The
whole-
thing is,
Yeah.
we said okay, cool. Let's say Embiid gets 45, right? Embiid's 45, but Tobias, that's probably gonna go down. You know, really gonna score like that.
You've already lost. I can see your face. You've already lost confidence. In what you're
No, look.
I can see it.
No. My eyes are in. No.
Chest.
Cool. Embiid 45. Cool. Tobias 10. Yeah. Boom, out the equation. Maxi up and down, so it might give you a little. Some days 20 something or lower, but Maxi can get slowed down. Harden,
It depends what Harden shows up.
he'll be in the club, so fine with that.
Nah, if he's playing Brooklyn, he won't be in the club.
So Harden.
PJ,
Would you say Harden 20, Maxi 20?
no.
I say Harden 25, Maxey 19, 18.
Harden average 25. No. He's
I'm not talking
depending-
about. First of all, I'm not even talking about. I'm talking about in a playoff series, right? By the way,
Yeah, he can average. Harden can average 25 in the
Harden-
He can.
I'm giving him benefit. I'm saying 20 as leeway.
I think okay. The thing is, yeah, 25 cool, but even though he's looking mad right now, I think Ben Simmons can shut that down.
Ben Simmons needs to be on the court to shut
He
shit down.
can't.
If Ben Simmons even shows 30% of defensive prowess that he used to, I think.
Also,
that's
I
fine.
think just if you two play
Make
each
it
other
hard.
anyway, I do think Embiid's gonna. I'd hope
And
Embiid will
both,
take
yeah,
it very personally.
but then,
Very personally.
so is Kyrie, so is KD.
They don't care.
They're still going
They
to
don't
take
care.
it 100%.
They
Kyrie don't care.
He
They
doesn't
care. They
Kyrie
care.
played full court defense on James Harden. What do you mean?
They care.
100% he did that. However,
They
them lot
care.
still besties. When I'm talking about bad
Say
blood,
who?
Kyrie and Harden still besties.
them man are all still cool.
KD and Harden are cool. Harden
Them
and
man are
Kyrie
all
are not
still
cool.
Cool.
Harden
Them
and
man are-
Kyrie
them man
are
are
KD
still
and Harden
cool.
aren't. They're
man are
just.
still
They're just.
FaceTiming.
I think everyone's just sort of on a mutual ground, but they're still.
But compare it to the Philadelphia situation with Ben Simmons. There's general.
Really and truly,
Ben
it
don't fuck with Doc. He don't fuck with Embiid. I don't know how he feels about Maxi. Like, there's a lot of guys on that. I think Ben will look at the whole coaching staff and say, "I don't fuck with none of you."
I agree with that. But that type of mentality though Ben, we don't know if Ben has that.
Yeah, we don't know if Ben has
we
that
don't.
in his
It's
locker.
not that
Ben
strong,
done
man.
that would be great. But
I'm saying that the Philly guys have the same. Have that. I've seen Embiid take shit personally and play out of his mind.
Yeah, he's got that.
Yeah, but I feel like when it comes to KD, he's always in awe, man. All the time he's like,
Embiid.
like he's always. He says this. He says
That
this all
guy's so good, man.
He says it all the time as well. Like
He wishes they had KD.
He's like,
instead of
he's
Harden.
always like, if there's anyone like a player who I can say, yeah, he's better than me at everything. It is. It's Kevin Durant, man.
Yeah.
He's in awe that them lot love the little feud thing, bro. So I don't think he'll take it personal, but I think they'll have a little feud thing and start to go back and forth. So that'll be cool. And then
It'll be like
Kyrie and Harden will be, 'cause I think it'll be a good matchup. And that's a matchup we can. I'm still saying we're
Brooklyn
winning.
will
I'm
take
still
that
saying we're
6 or
winning that
7,
100%.
Yeah, Brooks will take that 6 or 7.
All right.
Claxton gonna get folded though.
Yeah, facts only. If he's gonna dunk him so hard he grows his hair back. It's gonna be fucked. You have a look at that, it's hibernating. It's gonna be terrible. Moving on. So, I personally want to speak about not the whole situation in LA because I don't care about all that shit anymore. We've spoken about it too many times. Mm-hmm. However, they made an adjustment to start bringing Russ off the bench, and Russ was getting so much criticism, saying how it's not working. We were on here last week even speaking about how his attitude hasn't been looking 10-10. I'm seeing a different Russell Westbrook than I was seeing. Mm-hmm. I know it's only been a week, but him coming off the bench, I've seen him averaging. He had 18, 8, and 8 in one game. Mm-hmm. I think he had
13, 7 and something.
13, 7, 7. I think the other game he had like 17, 8 and 7 or something like that. Like he's starting to level up, starting to be way more consistent.
Why? Because the unit that he's running with, he just needs one. Usually is AD.
He needs to do everything himself. Like that's the Russ is at his best when he's
doing
like,
everything. When he's doing everything himself,
Yeah.
and when AD's there just because of just only
Pick
for
and
the
roll.
dump pick and roll. Yeah,
100%.
So when LeBron's
Just give him
when LeBron and Pat Bev are, then Russ, AD, and whoever else.
You can't have
that's
two
fine.
guys with Russ that also need to play in the paint.
Mm-hmm.
One, fine. Two, you can't.
That's why AD's perfect because he doesn't even want to always go and beat the paint anyway.
Yeah.
So it's
That's why
perfect.
it works.
But I've just seen, and it's not even just from a playing standpoint. You can see the difference in Russ.
Yeah.
From his like energy, everything is different. Obviously it's easy to say because we've all played sports before. When you're losing, you're not happy in it. Yeah. It's just fact. But when I'm not saying they're winning all day. There's been 3 games. They're 2-1 in those games. They had an overtime win against the Pelicans, which was.
They got lucky.
It was impressive or unimpressive. I'm really disappointed that the Pelicans lost that game purely because of the fact that they were up 3 guarding guys in the paint.
Yeah. And they
what are we doing, Alvin? Gentry, what are we doing here? No, someone tell me.
Oh,
you know Alvin and Chipmunks where the guy's like, Alvin,
No.
that's how I feel. What the fuck? That's how I'm feeling, bro. What are you doing? You're down, you're up 3. Why are we guarding layups? We don't care about layups, bro.
Because it's the Lakers. They don't. They're not known for shooting.
There's 1.4, 1.5 seconds on the clock. It does not matter what anyone does apart from shoot threes. None of you should be within the 3-point line. I don't care where AD was. I think AD was under the basket, and Trey Murphy was standing under the basket with him. Big man, they need a 3.
Wait, Lonnie Walker had 28.
It's outrageous to see. That's terrible defending from the Pelicans. Whatever.
Pelicans were missing Brandon Ingram that game. They really
A little bit, but they also looked very much in control. Zion hit 2 clutch free throws to take the lead in the game. Sorry. The Lakers were making mistakes as well. LeBron came down and he was kind of just forced into taking a heavily contested fadeaway. Yeah. LeBron was looking old yesterday. He was looking old yesterday. I ain't gonna lie. He was looking his age. I ain't gonna lie. He's 37, bro. What do you want from him?
I don't want to say it. That's why I said he
sluggish. He was looking old. He was looking
like, my hip.
He weren't looking like 03 MJ old. But he was looking up there.
He's been looking like that all summer, you know.
Relax.
No.
Relax. That's cap.
No. Have you been watching him in the summer league runs?
We're not talking about summer. Don't care about summer, man.
Dude, man.
We're talking about the Drew League.
I care about everything. I watch it all in totality.
I understand that, innit? But for me, I've seen LeBron not try on so many occasions when he should be trying. So
There's that.
First, like the first week or two of the season, I was like, he's going for points. I can see that, because they weren't winning no games, but he was still getting his. He was still getting buckets. Yet, like the last, I'd say 2 games I've watched him. I don't think he's hurt. I just think I don't think he's recovering the way he used to, innit? I think he wakes up and he's like, "Bro, I'm really in my 20th year, you know." Fuck, because I saw LeBron was trying to box out Zion on the basket, and I was like, he shouldn't be there. This ain't for you.
Yeah, and that's too much energy. You need to relax.
Zion went up for the. I think he went up, got the rebound, and LeBron was just looking at him like, "What the fuck is this?" Zion came back down. LeBron tried to swipe. Zion went straight back up and laid it up, and I could tell LeBron was dazed, confused, uncomfortable. I saw Alvarado do that sneaky shit where he stole his hand in the corner, stole the ball. LeBron was looking at when you gave, bro, why'd you pass me the ball? He was looking old, man.
Yeah, he was looking all the time because usually he's got like the strength. He's got the strength.
Oh,
to
yeah.
go toe to toe.
He's not stronger than Zion. I'm not going to question that, bro.
He's not stronger than Zion.
Not right now.
Do you know how strong Zion is? Zion is a defensive lineman.
Do you know how strong LeBron is?
LeBron is,
and the fact that by the way,
LeBron is functionally strong within the sport of basketball. I'm telling you, Zion is NFL player strong. LeBron is not NFL player strong. There's a difference.
LeBron is the only thing with it is that he just tones it down and loses his weight. It's just for basketball. LeBron is a strong man.
I'm not saying he's not strong. I'm just saying he's not as strong as Zion, bro.
So you'd be surprised.
How strong do you? I've seen Zion grab a basketball and he deflated it in his hands.
Did he deflate it?
It looked like it was deflated.
Oh man,
I've seen him. But how many times have you seen LeBron bust out of shoes?
That's true.
I've seen.
That's force,
I
bro.
saw someone in summer league thin as a stick bust out in the shoes.
Yeah,
no,
he had them
I ain't
shoes
trying
for
to hear
5
that.
years. That's different.
Grant,
Zion had new
exactly, bro.
shoes, like new Nike shoes.
You know who else did that recently? Grant Williams from the so you know that boy's strong as well.
That's a stocky man.
Exactly, bro. It's same energy, bro. I'm telling you, Zion is like a brick, innit? Like purely like a brick. I know he's very difficult to move around, and I know he's strong as shit. So I don't even think he means to do. Like I can imagine Zion bumping into bare stuff when he's walking around. Oh, sorry, man, my bad. I didn't see that kind of thing. That's the kind of guy he is. I'm telling you, bro. It's long. So yes, LeBron is strong, but Zion is stronger. I'm not gonna question that. And I hope he would be. Zion is 22. LeBron is 37. You know, it's different. LeBron's trying to stay lean to be able to keep running with these boys. Zion only just got relatively lean recently.
Relatively is a strong word, but I hear it.
He looks good.
He looks
good. He looks good. Yeah, he looks good.
I compare his journey to Charles Barkley all the time. If you stay in shape, you are an MVP caliber, one of the best players in the world.
Yeah.
When you lose that, I don't know what's happening, bro. You've got to be in shape.
Yeah. But watching the Lakers in totality is not the most fun thing to do. So in that game, the only real highlights I really had was the 3 that they never should have had to tie the game, take it to overtime. And Russ just playing with a lot more freedom. Yeah, I'm seeing Russ take the same layups that Russ has been taking for how many years in OKC.
Celebrating,
it's
all
easy.
Things,
having a good time with it.
You know what I find interesting? I do not think Russ is even playing any differently than how he's been playing this whole time with the Lakers. But I think it's purely what you're saying. He seems to be enjoying himself more in playing with the second unit. Therefore, these shots are dropping because he just has more confidence in himself out there without having to. He's
taking less. So I think the floor spacing thing is a big aspect of it. I think because Russ was on the court with other players who clog up the paint, he was forced to play a style of play that isn't like beneficial to him.
Not at all.
I'm looking now.
What was threes he was taking before as well?
He's still taking like 4 threes a game in the last 3 games that we just mentioned.
He always takes threes. He's always going to take about 4 to 5 threes a game.
And one of them games he didn't even shoot that well. To be fair, he shot 6 of 17 in the game where he had 18, 8, and 3. The next game he had 18, 8, and 8 against Denver. He shot 50% from the field and from the 3-point line. Which is a big difference for him.
Is that when he was that a 6 or 10 shooting game, or was that 6 or 11?
6 for 12. The game after that, he shot 6 for 10, 1 for 4 from 3. So I just feel, considering he was shooting, remember I told you what last week he was shooting 8%. 8. It was 8, yeah.
8.
1 of 12.
8.
He's now up to 20.8%, bro.
8.
It's a big jump. I didn't know you could shoot 8% from 3 in the NBA.
I didn't think any NBA player could shoot 8%.
I didn't know that was possible. I
think the only person who could have probably shot 8% Was it from free, right? 8% is really good bet, bro. That's it.
Shaq and Dwight Howard probably would have done it in their primes as
Nah,
well.
Dwight's like 50. I swear Dwight's like 50. You take one, make one. That's it.
Yeah. Dwight, yeah. To be honest,
Oh my gosh, no.
Same with JaVale McGee, man. JaVale McGee's got better 3-point shooting percentage than that.
I think Russ just needs to enjoy himself a bit more. Obviously, it's difficult being in that
Kind of-
situation in LA is
but he
hostile.
can-
We spoke about
Yeah,
it.
he can still close games and still
Yeah.
be there. So that's the main thing, because I get it, cool, starting all that stuff, but if you're finishing the games,
Yeah, him coming off the bench, I think, just aligns perfectly with LeBron and probably Pat Bev going to sit down.
But I don't think he will be finishing games, especially the later the season goes. Because again, it's just with those three on the court.
yeah, I think its role is just mainly so once obviously they're off, to keep whatever energy is or lead is there, or to cut down.
Russ is doing the filler points when
Yeah.
the other guys get tired. I think they'll chop and change it depending on how he's playing as well.
Yeah.
I think if he's playing well, it'll be difficult to not have him on the court in the late game situations. But if he's not doing anything spectacularly, like I can imagine him having to take a seat. But even that game where he had 13 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists.
Yeah.
Like he's in a much him coming off the bench is much better for him. First game of the season he had 19 and 11 and 7 and 12. I said, oh yeah, this is like good for him.
Yeah.
But the 11 was 11 rebounds.
Do you think he's going to finish the season in LA still?
Yeah, he can't go anywhere. No, one's trading for that contract. 2, the only place, the only place he potentially could go is to Indiana in that terrible trade. And I think the Lakers are looking at the current situation and saying, if I'm Rob Pelinka, if I'm LeBron, if I'm AD, I don't see adding Miles Turner and Buddy Hield being the move that gets you to the finals. There's still so many things wrong with that team. I don't think it's gonna be the move of the year. You know, I don't think it's worth giving up those 2 draft picks.
It wouldn't get you to the finals, but those 2 draft picks aren't going to do anything for you anyway.
Oh, they are.
What?
The Lakers are gonna suck, bro. The Lakers are gonna suck. They know it as well. When LeBron is done on that team, when LeBron's gone in the next, he's got this year and 2 more after.
Yeah.
At the end of that, which will take them to 2025, 2024, 2025. Yeah.
And those
Finish.
picks are for what?
That first 25 is the first one. I think 20.
Do they own the rights to that pick?
It's either 25 or 27, 29. I can't remember which. I know 29 is one of them. It's either 25 and 29 or 27 and 29.
I think
Either way,
27, 29.
Either way, going forward, the Lakers have not got a bright future going forward, innit?
Oh,
So they have to look at their situation and say, AD's not looking like a franchise player that we thought he would be. LeBron is not going to be here forever. When Russ goes, we're going to have 40 million, maybe not quite 40 million, but around that similar figure in cap space to go and get ourselves another star, another great player to maybe complement these 2.
no one's going to go there.
Let's not mortgage our future any more than we already have by doing just like they did in the AD trade, by giving up even more draft picks and basically saying we're not going to have draft picks until 2030, which is outrageous to be able to say considering we're in 22 right now, about to be in 23 by the end of the year.
They're going to trade him.
Russ
Yeah, they're going to trade him.
to Indiana.
Yep.
I mean, I get why.
Only if Indiana do it without picks.
I get why they'd would have changed so that they have something, because otherwise he's
Yeah.
just walking away for free. So
And not even just that. You said it, LeBron has what, this season? Next 2 seasons? So the last 3 seasons LeBron's career in LA, you're not in any type of contention for any
They can be at the end of this year if when they let Russ walk in free agency, they can somehow chill. Let's say they do, and I have no idea what the possible, because again, most of the free agents that were gonna be free agents have already signed extensions and stuff like that.
apart from Kyrie.
Kyrie is the piece that they
Kyrie's
could get
the
though. This is what I'm saying though. Kyrie, everyone knows Kyrie's gonna be a free agent next year. Kyrie said he regrets the situation that happened in Cleveland and how he ended things with LeBron and how I think he'll be happy to go there if the Lakers can swap Kyrie Irving. So swap Russell Westbrook for Kyrie Irving and not give up a single draft pick. That's a great move for them, because Kyrie's gonna want what 30 to 40 million in.
Kyrie's he's going to want 100 million.
Obviously, there's limits to what he can
But,
get because
yeah,
he'll be
he's
an
gonna-
unrestricted free agent, and
He's
he
going
would.
to try to get 40.
And I think the Lakers are currently paying Russ 50. Obviously, there'll be other salary implications based on the rest of their roster, but I think they could work something out to be able to go and get. For some reason, cap space doesn't apply to certain teams, so I feel like they're gonna be able to put in a decent offer for Kyrie Irving.
When you say that, that's about to though. I saw something from the NBPA and NBA about to have a meeting about the salary cap situation.
And Booth putting up.
Yeah,
because the TV money's too good, and they're like, bro, like we're seeing how much the owners are making. We want a higher percentage. They've been wanting a higher percentage as well of that money. So we'll see how it turns out. But 100%, I think it doesn't make sense for LA to trade Russ at this point, especially now they've got him playing good basketball as well. Like they've kind of got the. And it's only been a couple of games. But they've got a better formula to going forward to do something with.
I personally think this whole bench thing is just to increase his trade value to make teams go.
That's a good shout as well.
That's a good shot though.
That's the only reason I think they moved him to the bench.
But if them increasing his trade value means that they can trade him to Indiana and keep their draft picks,
I don't know if they'll be able to keep their draft picks.
Then if his trade value goes up, maybe it goes from 2 picks to 1 pick.
Yeah, that might happen.
I still wouldn't do it if I'm LA. I don't see a point. I really don't. Because then if they go and get Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, who are neither of them are expiring contracts, they have to run that team back next year. They have no choice. They have no other space to do.
Long.
But they don't have no choice. I mean,
but is
other than Russ going and then being able to get an actual star free?
Because we know Kyrie's gonna be there. He's not going back to Brooklyn. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent next year. We know that for a fact.
But the Lakers gonna want to take the Kyrie situation in LA.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know.
One.
He's grown up, matured, so he will definitely.
Kind of, but he still says some shit that gets him in trouble.
After the beginning of the season,
LeBron is.
I think
it could be better with LeBron because LeBron's more of a leader than KD's more of a kind of cohabit.
Him and KD are brothers, whereas I know he didn't like the whole LeBron is my dad. I'm not saying LeBron is his dad, but LeBron's like the older
keeps him in check, like
the older cousin or something like that. Yeah,
I hear it, but you're moving mad. There was 2 quick things that I wanted to touch on before we go.
Please.
So very first, real quick. So Kawhi Leonard is reportedly frustrated.
Yeah.
And not where he wants to be in terms of playing in more games this season.
Mm-hmm. He's not frustrated with us. He's frustrated with himself. He's frustrated at the fact that he's hurt, which I'm okay with. Yeah, be upset because I'm upset that you're not playing all the games, bro. Currently, I think we're 4-4 after playing 8 games, and I've seen so many spurts from the Clippers. I'm like, bro, like if we can really be all there together, we'll be great. Like I saw us playing that game against the Lakers, and I was like, I like what I'm seeing. You know, Kawhi came off the bench late in the game, and played a big chunk of that third and part. I think he finished the game in the fourth anyway.
Yeah,
and. Bro, he didn't look like he missed much of a beat, to be honest.
He looks fine.
But it's kind of sad to hear that he is still experiencing, injuries. I said on this pod, I needed him to come back healthy, ready to go.
He came back bulkier though as well, so I don't know if that's going to put more strain on his legs. Because he's paused, but his legs have gone bigger than they was.
But was that maybe to protect the joints, to add more
maybe
muscle around
he definitely needs to build more. I think he understood he needs to build more muscle around that area to kind of protect himself. I'm just curious as to what extent he is really hurt now, because
what is it? Is the quad acting up again? Is it still there? Because he had the partial.
I think his knee. He tore his ACL. Partial ACL to like. I that's why I didn't rush him. Like last year when they were saying, he might come back in the playoffs. I don't want him to see him in the playoffs, bro.
And that's the thing is with partials as well. Is like it can go to where it can recover and be cool, but then because it's partial, it might. So that's why it's always obviously. Not that you would want to, but it's always better that it's a full test that actually
you can repair the whole thing.
Because partial is like there's still it's and then you still feel the aches and stuff, so it's very, very risque. So that's probably why it's frustrating as well. Because when you're playing or doing things and you feel that like pain, it's long. And if you feel it when you're doing normal stuff like just walking or driving and such, it's going to be very frustrated. So.
I hope Kawhi can get back healthy. I'm not really rushing him right now. I feel like. When we get after the All-Star break, he needs to be playing games because I don't want him to only start playing from the playoffs and be a bit rusty or whatever. Innit? I need him to get some minutes on him. Also, I want us to be one of the top seeds in the West, innit? And I think Paul George came out and said he himself needs to be more assertive, as we were talking about as well, saying that like it's his fault that they've had a slow start because he needs to He needs to be the leader of the team, which I wholeheartedly agree with. And in fairness, I've seen him drop 40 this season. I've seen him drop 35 in games where we've won, and I've needed him to kind of do that. I think John Wall coming in as well. John Wall should be the starter. I've seen enough.
I don't know.
I've seen enough.
I get what Tyler was
defensively, he's on his point there.
Yeah,
he's moving the ball.
He's easing him into the system, giving Reggie his respect as he deserves, because Reggie held it down for a while as a starting point guard for our team. But I've seen enough. John Wall needs to be a starting point guard.
Yeah, he's ready. He was. I knew he was ready.
Yeah.
He was chilling at Houston doing nothing because he's fit. He was healthy. When he came to us, he was fit and healthy. Him play. So he's been ready the whole time.
Crazy. So the last thing to touch on just before we head out. Anthony Edwards has 0 dunks this season.
I saw that interview.
And he's such a funny guy. And he said, "Everybody is in the paint. I'm only 6'4", 6'5". I can't jump. I can't just jump over everybody, man. I ain't as tall as Giannis. Everybody be asking me to dunk the ball like it's all peaches and cream. I've got to get a good dunk lane. I got to get a good lane to dunk the ball. I.e. Rudy Gobert, move your ass out of the paint."
It's not just Rudy though. It's Towns is in there as well, bro.
Him and Towns is low key beefing as well.
Gobert and Towns.
Not Gobert.
Anthony Edwards and Towns.
Oh, what? Because of the
food
things
They're
that
doing it under
the radar.
They don't interview to each other. They send little low key shots at each other about like this guy needs to be doing a bit in it.
And you probably talk about what's it? Cat probably saying, "Go and dunk." It's like, bruv,
You mean, bro?
And it's one of the ones where I hear it like, especially like, okay, cool, you're sending shots about this and that, but last year, who showed up? Me or you? It was me. What was you doing? What did you do? You're out here hugging your.
I think Edwards averaged 24 in the playoffs. Cat averaged 21. Like, relax.
No, Cat's a bum. I'm sorry.
Whoa! Look, I'm not saying that
Bum.
because I said last week that I thought Cat was still the main guy on that team, and I really do believe that Minnesota only go as far as Cat pushes them.
Anthony Edwards, brother.
Purely because of the position that Anthony Edwards plays, he will never be the best of it. Not even never, but it's going to be very difficult for him to be one of the best players in that position in the league. Very, very difficult. Whether he's a 2 or 3, you can pick. But I could probably name 5 guys from each of them that would be better than
his age group. Playing.
We're not talking about his age group. We're talking about where he is now. At the end of the day, you have to look at Cat. Cat is 26, 27 years old. You know, he's been in the league for a while. And regardless of what everyone says about him, where he's ranked in Minnesota, he's still one of the best players in his position.
Most definitely. But what has that done for him?
I know that.
They got him Jordan Woods. We'll give him that.
Yeah, he got himself a baddie, and he still puts up nice numbers regardless of what we're talking about. Minnesota weren't in the playoffs for a very long time. We saw how they were celebrating over that play-in win against us, where Pat Bev was throwing shirt around, and now look at him in LA. Let's not forget he had a quick stop in Utah, courtesy of Minnesota.
Shout out, Manny.
But I just think Cat is, even though we always want more from him, and that is a fact, we always want more from him because like we know you can be better than what you do a lot of the time. You show us signs of it every season where you have a stint of weeks or months or whatever it is, or games where you look almost unstoppable. This move that Minnesota made could be one of the worst moves that they could have potentially made, given that they've mortgaged their future to go and get Rudy Gobert. Do you know what I've said it before?
That was so dumb.
They would have been better off going to get the other guy in Utah. They would have been better off the exact same package. Go get yourself Donovan Mitchell. The exact same, because Utah would have done the trade. I don't see why they wouldn't have done the trade.
Utah would have so happy to get rid of Donovan and Rudy. They were so happy to get rid of both of them.
I don't think they would have had to send D'Lo. Keep the exact package they sent over to get Gobert. Send that over to go get Donovan Mitchell. Yeah,
they got D'Lo 1, Mitchell 2, and Edwards at the 3.
Mitchell, literally.
That'd be so hard to stop.
Because
and Edwards, they don't know about D'Lo.
No, but we're in Minnesota currently.
He's a good point guard. He's not a great point, but he's a good point. He's a good
D'Lo,
the ball. Yeah,
serviceable, definitely serviceable.
Yeah, 100%.
So
Lonzo Ball better, but he's a good point guard.
Lonzo has to play to be better.
I hear it.
I like Lonzo as well, but he don't play.
He's too injured.
Minnesota. I still think there's a good chance that like that move will work out well for them, and that Cat and Gobert might make it work. But only if Cat is playing as like a mid-range perimeter 3-point like shooter, he can't be a back to the basket big anymore because Gobert's there, and we know Gobert cannot do anything but catch lobs.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that we've ever seen Rudy Gobert do on offense. So unless you're gonna say Gobert go chill in the corner, but then Cat's gonna have a double team on him. He can't drive. It is clogging up the paint, especially for Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards now needs to become almost a knockdown 3-point shooter or knockdown shooter. Period. And I'm not saying he can't do it. It's just not his game.
He'll get there. Yeah,
he's a slasher, innit? He's a slasher. That's where majority of his points come from. He can shoot and he can score like that. But I know he'd much prefer to get 12 of his points in the paint, innit? And it's not the easiest thing to do when you got two big men chilling in there with the guys there guarding them as well.
I think the only good thing about this trade for Minnesota is that it guarantees they'll be able to make the playoffs for the next 2-3 seasons, and that's it.
Which is not worth what they gave up, in my opinion.
And but for Minnesota, that actually might be worth what they gave up. For Minnesota, I think so. Not for the talent they have, but for that franchise, that organization, that's more important to them.
If they were the 7th seed last year and they made the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Like they had to go playing. I think they could have run it back with the same team.
I agree with you.
They could have made like a couple other moves maybe to get there. Yeah, but they had Malik Beasley, they had Jared Vanderbilt. Like
that's not a smart run organization over there, man. It has been.
They tried to rush the process, and I don't understand why. If you from the point at which they drafted Cat, they were in rebuild mode. Then they went and got D'Lo, which I didn't love the move, but it was all right because I'm like, you got someone on the same timeline as him in terms of age. Then you were bad enough to draft Edwards.
Yeah.
They made the playoffs and they might not make it. I'm not gonna. They're definitely gonna make the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
But if there was a world where they didn't make it this year, I wouldn't have been surprised. If I'm being honest, I actually genuinely wouldn't have been surprised if they didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, facts. I think this Gobert contract is gonna age even worse in Minnesota than it was in Utah.
100%.
I think it's gonna age terribly when he starts getting to. So I think this year he's on 40 M's, right? Yeah. Or just over 40 M's. When he gets to that 45-50 mark, people are going to start really...
50 mil for someone who can't put top 6'1" guard.
Minnesota for...
It's when they see him in the playoffs. It's because everyone was talking about that. What was it? He had 20 points.
23 and 17 or something like that.
And the thing is, even though they have to, like, at times bench him in the playoffs, but imagine that you're spending 45 to 50 mil
to sit on the bench.
To sit on the bench.
That's why he's not going to be on the bench.
What they have to do is just basically make the win convincing enough that he just needs to rest.
And you think that coach, no offense to Minnesota's coach, I don't think he's good enough to know to sit Gobert on the bench.
You know who used to be the GB head coach? No, he used to be GB basketball head coach.
I know. Chris Finch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is the look on my face. No offense, but yeah.
It's cool. It's done and dusted still.
So we're gonna end it there. Make sure you
wait quickly. Sorry to interrupt. Houston fan.
Yeah. Go on. All right.
What is your expectation for Houston this year? Because right now you're 1-7, right, or 1-8. You guys suck. Rightfully, this is a good year to suck though because of who.
Wembanyama.
I think you're in a good spot to either get him. However, you just gave KPJ
40
guaranteed 40 something million, but it's like an $80 million contract over 4 or 5 years.
He's got to keep himself in check.
Yeah, he's got requirements to make basically. Innit?
Yeah.
Also, but side note, his girl is bad as hell. I don't know if you know.
You see that boy? Of course.
I don't know if you know his girl is bad as hell. Anyway, the only problem is if you don't get the number 1 pick, you're kind of fucked because the next 2 best players are guards. It's Scoot Henderson and the brother from Arkansas. What's his name? It's gonna irritate me.
Nick
Smith. That's it. Nick Smith.
The problem is, I think the only. No offense to Nick Smith, the 2 players.
Oh yeah, it's a two-headed draft really. Nick Smith is very good though. I will say, even if you somehow were unlucky enough to stumble across the 3rd pick, he's still the next best player in my opinion. Isn't it?
But wait, Scoot's not a point. He's a shooting guard, right?
He's a 1.
No, he's a 1.
He's a 1. In all honesty, that might be one of the best things for us to get a point guard. And
because they don't actually have a point
KPJ
guard.
would get traded because KPJ is not a point guard.
He isn't. He's a
No
two.
matter.
He's a
Jaden-
scoring guard.
Yeah,
so
Jalen
is
Green's not
Jalen
going
Green.
nowhere. We
Yeah.
drafted him. He's staying. They're gonna give him his rookie
Jabari
extension
Smith
when
is stuck there too.
Jabari Smith staying. He's not going nowhere. KPG is a tradable asset.
Would you
Someone's gonna take him.
would you think about your other guy? You got Tari Eason.
Tari Eason, nice.
Really?
Tari Eason is an effort player. He's nice for someone who's coming.
You dive like that.
And no, because he's coming off the bench playing. He's playing bench minutes. But he's
Yeah,
playing well in
but
those-
still,
in
yeah.
those minutes when he comes on, like, I watched us
Peanuts.
play against Utah. We ended up winning that game somehow. But I don't know how we won the game, if I'm being honest. So
Utah
they-
fucked up their tanking, by the way, already.
Yeah.
I just want to say.
Who?
Utah already fucked up their tanking.
Yeah, they're playing too good. I don't know why they're playing so good. Chill.
6-3.
Chill, like chill out. Look at us, we're chilling. Chill out.
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
playing these guys like this for a reason. Learn the game, get all this bad stuff out your system. Because by the time we get someone like when we're like, all right, cool, we're ready now. We're gonna build a team. You guys better get all this stuff out.
Feel a bit bad for Eric Gordon now. I can't lie, but
We're trying to move him.
yeah,
But
he's on like 18 mil. It's not easy contract.
he's
to
on
get.
a lot of money, and we're not gonna get something back that we want. We want picks and stuff. No one wants to give us
Are you
picks.
thinking about when they were arguing?
I'm just here to hoop, man.
I just want to fucking go home,
Yeah,
man.
man.
God damn.
Like, Philly needs somebody else.
Trust me,
I'll join
trust
you
me.
in part 2. I'm ready.
But yeah. What's your kind of expectation for your team? I would like a record prediction, please.
Record prediction.
Yes,
I
please.
expect us to probably get maybe 15 wins. If I'm being real, if we get 15 wins,
Wow,
I'll be
it's
happy.
great
bro.
tanking, yeah.
Bro.
Great tanking, yeah.
Again, I feel bad for our coach. I feel bad for Coach Hayes. I feel bad for any coach that comes into a situation and you're automatically going to be in a losing
You
situation.
have to tank as well
You
to
have
get
to tank.
to get guys.
There's nothing you can do. The young boys that we already have too many guards, and we also have a big problem with our full position because they don't know what they want to do with Kenya Martin Jr. and Şengün.
He doesn't. Does Kenny Martin Jr. start for you now?
He's starting to start.
Okay, because you were playing.
Doesn't he want to leave?
He did at one point.
He did at one point because he was on the bench.
Yeah. So is Jabari Smith not starting?
Jabari Smith is starting at the 3.
I'm not mad at that.
He's starting at
Yeah.
the 3, and then he's not playing a lot of minutes. Tari Eason's starting to take up some of Jabari's minutes because when he comes on, the rebounding he does, the hustle plays, the effort, like he's doing all the extra stuff other than the scoring. That's making Tari Eason. That's why I'm like, Tari Eason actually is kind of nice. He's actually a good player.
You
He's
got
doing a lot.
Ty Washington as well. I don't know if he's getting any minutes. Again, you have way too many guards.
He's alright, but it's the
No
guard
minutes.
thing. We have too many guards that want to put the ball in the hoop. They all want to score.
No one wants to pass.
No one wants to pass. Jalen Green don't pass. He kind of
At all.
started playmaking, and it's like
It's
then
not.
he stops.
It's not his bag.
Kevin Porter does not want to give the ball to nobody but Kevin Porter. I like it sometimes,
Yeah.
but I'm
it's
like,
too much,
yeah.
Yeah.
You're the point guard. I need you to pass this ball.
If I was his coach, he'd piss me off.
I'd trade him. I can't lie. I
I'd
would.
trade him. Bro.
In all
I would
honesty,
trade
that
him.
see, like when we was talking about the clip of them arguing, I like that. I like the fact that that's the play. It's the last 30 seconds of the game. We need us to win. We won the game, and clearly, whatever happened there helps you guys focus and win that game. I like that stuff because adversity breeds camaraderie, all that stuff, things like that. But also at the same time, I'm like, this ain't gonna be the last time we see these boys arguing.
Oh,
beside,
no, of course
because we got 2 ball dominant guards that want the ball, and they both are good enough to have the ball as far as they're concerned. And they're probably like, KBG's like, I'm better than you. No, I'm better than you. Okay, simple.
That's the
what they're
thing.
doing.
Everyone thinks they're the best player in the team.
Yeah.
And
The team
everyone
kinda
has the
sucks.
right to think it
Yeah,
right now
yeah,
because
yeah.
we suck. So any of you
Yeah.
could be the best. So it's a free fall. Who's going to be the leader? Everyone's trying to figure out the leader. Like if we played John Wall last year, none of this would be happening. Real talk.
Yeah.
We would have
'Cause
been
you
too
knew who the
good.
best player
Yeah,
was,
you know who the
yeah.
best player is John Wall. You know who the leader is John Wall. We know who the passer is John Wall. Like Jalen
Yeah.
Green, you're going to develop. You're going to get your buckets. You'll be a good player. That would have been better. But because we didn't, now we got Jabari Smith. He's going to struggle this year. He will get better probably after January, the same way as Jalen Green did, because eventually you'll figure it out and you get used to the game, blah, blah, blah. But by then, it's too late for us because, I mean, we're not a playoff team. I want us to be a playoff team. I don't like this. Like, I'm 2 years removed from being in the playoffs. They just, Harden just went away. Just, bam, it's over. And now no more playoffs. It wasn't.
That's
transi-
wild,
it was
man.
gone. It was
So
that's it.
sudden as well.
Yeah, it wasn't like your free agency's coming up. It's, well, that Russ run didn't work. All right, we done. That's it. They all left. Daryl Morey, D'Antoni, everyone that bought a championship would have championship aspirations on our team left. And now this is it. So yeah, 15 wins. If we're lucky, 20. We probably will not get the number 1 pick. We probably will end up with the number 4 or 5 pick, which means there should be a lot of trades this next off season. In my opinion,
you have Brooklyn's pick at least for the next couple of drafts. I think you might have a.
And what does that mean? That does nothing for us. Yeah. Brooklyn are going to be too good for the next couple of years.
It's still a late first round pick. In my opinion, that means you have every year for the next at least 2 years. You have 2 first round draft picks.
We have, in fact, for longer than that, until 2029. Because we got a lot because of the trades.
We got pick swaps as well.
We got picks for years. We got trades. We got it for years. Bro.
So it's not terrible, but at the same time,
we got it.
At the same time, I guess you're. I would say teams have 7 years from when they draft like a good player to be good. Otherwise, that guy's gonna want to leave, innit? Jalen Green is now in his 2nd year, so you have 6 more years. Obviously, getting Jabari Smith is a great. I don't know. Honestly, you said it when we were coming in. Paolo would have been nicer.
That would have been
nicer. Would have been
perfect. This was the year we needed a number 1 pick, not next season, because it's too difficult. This season, getting the number 1 pick this season is going to be too difficult.
If you get Victor there, Wembanyama,
I'm flying to Houston. I ain't never leaving.
I wouldn't even, bro.
I'm gonna watch every game. I want to see how this goes because he could potentially, like, he's on that list of like you could be one of the next great players.
100%.
I worry about because of his size and stuff like that and how he plays. I worry about how the health thing will affect him, especially when he gets to the league. Will be different.
Facts.
He's not playing. It's not like Zion. Zion at least came in with a big body, but the problem was he came with a big body.
Yeah.
It's not like Luka where you've come in and yes, you're kind of out of shape, chubby, but you've been playing with men this whole time. Yeah. So coming to play against men is not too much of an adjustment for you to make.
Yeah.
He's coming playing. No offense to the G League guys. Some of those guys are ready for the NBA. Some of them aren't. But he's coming and playing with these guys. He's going to play in the NBA. Most of the teams that he's playing against in the G League and most of the schemes they're playing, they're all geared to get to the NBA, but focusing on certain things. Like, I don't know, I was watching a documentary about the teams that like Isaiah Thompson, these guys that were getting back in the league were playing on. And yeah, it's good for them, but in terms of team play, it's not really, you're not really learning that much playing basketball. So he's just there to showcase his skills. He's going to come in raw. Whoever gets him is going to be happy. It'll be great, but again, he's not coming. I know he's not coming to us. So it's...
The thing is, one thing I will say about him is that he's in a different situation to... It's not the G League, innit? He's in a professional basketball league, innit?
Is he playing in
the French league?
Yeah.
So he's already a professional basketball player, innit? By obviously it's not the NBA, but still.
It's still
so he's still definitely learning and growing and stuff like that. But his whole thing that separates him from all the college kids and all the G League kids is that every night he's playing against grown men. Obviously, the G League kids are slightly in between, but again, the competition is different. Every night he's playing against grown men who are professionals, who have been doing this, are skilled, athletic, talented, all the above. And if he's standing out in those situations, because we saw what he did to the G League brothers, it wasn't even. It was around, the talent gap is ridiculous in that.
He clearly is the best of his jet class. Yeah. He's clearly the best.
You're right. It really is just health with him.
Yeah.
Hopefully, there's a few teams I wouldn't mind seeing him on. I wouldn't mind him in San Antonio. I honestly wouldn't mind him in Houston because you guys already have two good players.
I don't want him to go to San Antonio. I think it's too restrictive.
Yeah,
I think it's too restrictive.
If he goes to San Antonio,
he'll be great. But
Pop will restructure the whole team around him.
Yeah,
because he knows not to waste that. He did it with Tim Duncan. I am so confident he's going to do the exact same thing with him. If Pop still continues to coach past next year anyway, because
I think this is
he's losing the will to live.
Was the last one, but this year has to be the last one, man.
He might surprise us, but yeah. Okay, cool. So I got your games prediction. I just want last two. I want Jabari Smith. Is he winning Rookie of the Year?
No, absolutely.
No chance.
I'm surprised he's on the ladder sometimes.
You think it's Paolo?
Right now, Paolo's a lock. I don't think there's anybody else.
Mathurin is really knocking on the door, though, I will say. But Paolo, yes, is especially because he was number 1 pick. Okay, and then Jalen Green,
20 plus all games as well. His average is
he's
I think he only had one game when he had less than 20.
I think 19. 19. I was gonna say, and then Jalen Green points per game, please,
for this season.
Yeah,
you know, I think he'll get himself up to 21. If KPG can let go of the ball, he'll get to 21 because Jaden Green should be our leading scorer.
He should be a number one option.
He should be our
100%.
number one option. No offense to Kevin Porter. He's great. He's great on the ball. He's got a good handle. But you're not a number one option. You're a number two option at best.
Yeah.
His peak to me is a number two option right now. That's what I'm seeing from him. Not a number one. And
That's fair.
yeah, I need Jalen Green to have that ball in his hand. I predicted before that he'd average 22. I just did not think that I didn't see us playing the way we're playing right now. I just didn't see us playing the way we're playing.
It's alright, man. You're rebuilding, man. It's a nice position to be in.
It's alright, but it's not. I've got Lakers fans laughing at me, and I've been laughing at Lakers fans for a while, and I don't like it no more. I don't like this.
All right, cool. And everything there. Thank you guys all for listening. Make sure you follow us all on socials. Twitter, Take It to the Pod. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Take It to the Rim Podcast. All our socials are attached. Aaron, plug you guys this as well.
1-2 Productions. Please follow, like, subscribe, all of that. Check our videos out. Black Spot as well. That's where we have the podcast. We have the YouTube show. We'll hold that on 1-2. And yeah, I'm Aaron. Nice to be back, guys. I'm sorry, it's just me.
No, we got a long season, so we got many.
We're gonna have you. We need to have you guys on our show as well, man. We'd love to have you guys on our show.
Yeah, man, 100%. We're gonna set all of that up, and keep rocking with all of us, guys. And Jules still ain't here.
Jules, you need to come back.
He needs to come back.
Out here, probably taking the piss.
But as he always says, over and out, baby.